designation. At Buc-ee's, every customer gets detailed Carfax updates, timely service reminders, and a full service history all at your fingertips. With 16 family-owned locations, no appointment needed, and easy financing, Buc-ee's makes auto care simple. Visit Buc-ee's.com today and drive with confidence. Buc-ee's.com.
Hi, Chuck here at Frank Lumber the Door Store. As we turn the corner on a new year and start planning for home projects and better weather, now is the time to come in and see all we have to offer. Our bargain barn is loaded with great deals with many exterior and interior options. And if you need your order quicker, now is the time of year to take advantage of our pre-hung and popular matchup service. Come visit our showroom and bargain barn in Shoreline. And don't forget to check us out online at franklumber.com.
Never have I ever called my sister from the finish line of my first marathon.
Hello?
You won't believe where I am.
Are you running?
Mile 26. I'm gonna make it.
Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e with its advanced camera system on us. Plus, 2 lines for just $30 a line.
Guys, I can't believe it.
I knew you could do it, babe.
That was amazing. Mom, how do you feel?
I feel great. I can't feel my feet. Let's take a picture, and then you may carry me to the car.
Share every stride, every mile, every memory on America's best network. Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e on us and 2 lines for just $30 a line.
With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 eligible port-ins on Essentials 55 Plus for well-qualified customers with autopay plus taxes, fees, and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement 128 gigabytes, $599.99 required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Google of Speed Test Intelligence data 1H 2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Home of your Super Bowl champion Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest.
This is the power of 12 is 1, man.
KIRO AM Seattle and KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Seahawks Super Bowl parade is tomorrow. The ceremony begins at 10 a.m. inside Lumen Field. They're going to present the trophy, do speeches. That event is sold out, but you can hear it right here on Seattle Sports Live. We're going to be broadcasting from inside the stadium. The public parade itself starts at 11 a.m.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now.
Seahawks Draft Blogs, Rob Staton joining us now on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. Rob, I would say how's it going, but I think I can probably guess your answer. How are you feeling right now?
Really tired. I got off the plane about 3 hours ago, and I've just walked through the front door. So I've just got back from San Francisco. What an amazing experience that was, you know, to be there in Santa Clara and to see this. And just, it was the perfect game to end to perfect season, really. And the Seahawks have proven that they are, you know, one of the all-time most rounded, great teams to go and win a Super Bowl. We've seen sort of individual performances over the years, claim titles, whether that was Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes. This was about a team, and what an emphatic performance that was to finish things off in Santa Clara.
Yeah, Rob, I think a perfect example of how well-rounded this team was is at one point I thought Myers was going to be MVP. At another point, I thought D. Hall was going to be MVP, and then it settled with K9. Just how did you watch this game? Did you focus on a specific position or area first? Just what was your viewing experience like?
I was very relaxed during the game. I don't know. I was looking on social media and seeing what people were saying on X, and I know there was kind of different opinions as the game was going on. Are they missing opportunities here? You know, settling for field goals instead of touchdowns. To me, it just felt like they were in complete control of the game. And as Mike McDonald has often said, you know, you let the game declare itself and then act accordingly. And the defense was playing so well that it felt like if you just kept chipping away, collecting those 3 points, that you were going to build a lead that was going to be too strong. And that was what was happening. It increased the pressure as the game went on. Drake May then started to force things. The mistakes happened. And I just thought it was a complete performance by this team. The kind of performance that so many other teams just seem allergic to having. Like, they just feel as if, I can't possibly settle for field goals. We've got to try and be more aggressive. We've got to win some style points or something. We've got to score touchdowns. We've got to get 7. And the Seahawks, just their common sense and measured approach this whole season has been a key factor. And you mentioned like whether Myers could have been the MVP. I don't know what you think. I thought it should have been a defensive player. I thought the defensive performance was so strong in that game that whether it was Derek Hall, Byron Murphy, or for me, Devon Witherspoon, I thought was the best player on the field in that game, apart from perhaps Christian Gonzalez, who had such a great game. But because Spoon got the win, I think that he should have been the MVP. But it's hardly worth wringing your hands about, is it, who was the MVP in the end?
Speaking of Witherspoon, and I agree with you, there were cases to make for all 3 of those guys for the defense. He mentioned he mentioned seeing a tell from the New England Patriots. They didn't go into a ton of detail there, but I was reading the latest from Adam Archuleta, who's a former NFL safety, and he's an analyst on CBS, and he was saying the same, that he was watching film, and he was like, it's like this defense knows exactly what New England is going to do. Is that how you felt looking at the film?
Yeah, I saw a tell as well. The tell was that if you run straight into the chest of Will Campbell or Jared Wilson, they will like to be pushed backwards into the quarterback. That was the tell that I was seeing there in the game. It was the one thing that really stood out to me, and was speaking about this with friends in the 2 nights before the game when I was in Santa Clara, was having watched the 3 playoff games that New England played, their left side of the line wasn't just struggling. It was appalling. Like, it was playing so badly. If you think of like the all-time bad Seahawks offensive lines that we've had in recent history, it was right up there, if not worse. They could not protect Drake May. And very early in that game, when you're seeing, I mean, that Riley Mills sack is unbelievable. Jared Wilson's made him look like Aaron Donald there. And Will Campbell, all they had to do was get into his frame and they could shove him backwards. So I'm sure that the tells and the study and all of the work that they did really contributed, and the stunts were creative, and the blitzes were well timed and well executed. The Devon Witherspoon blitz, from the angle that we were sat in the stadium, like, it looked like he was just running into the offensive line, and somehow to sort of squeeze through the smallest gap and then get that pressure was unbelievable. All of that worked well, but what also worked well is you were just physically dominant in the trenches. And typically, if you are physically dominant in the trenches, you will win. When you're shoving the left guard back like Riley Mills was, you're going to win more often than you don't.
You know what's kind of cool, Robert, about 5 to 6 minutes into this whole thing? We ain't mentioned Sam Darnold not one time. Not one time have we mentioned Sam. Was a little off at times, but made some throws. How do you assess his performance?
So it was quite windy. I don't know if you got that sense, like watching on a broadcast, but it was quite windy in the stadium. And in between the series, Darnold would come out with Drew Lock and they'd throw the football around, and the ball was kind of hanging in the air a little bit. And there were a few passes where I don't want to just completely excuse the quarterback and say it was just the weather, but it did feel as if a couple of passes sailed. New England were very, very aggressive. It felt as if they had watched the Vikings game against the Seahawks and thought, right, what did Brian Flores do? We're going to do that, because it did cause the Seahawks some issues. And the Falcons did a similar thing, and they had some success in the first half, at least, against the Seahawks. So they were being very aggressive. I think that got into the head maybe a little bit of Sam Darnold, that he had to get the ball out quickly. Maybe his timing was off. A little bit of that accuracy was off as well. But when you needed him to make some key plays, he still delivered for that A.J. Barner touchdown. He still converted some big throws that were needed. He did enough. And I'm kind of glad. I think it would have been... all of the attention would have been on Darnold if he'd have had like a 350-yard, 3-touchdown performance. He would have been really the only headline and story in town. I think the fact that he was a contributing factor is what this roster deserved at the end of the day. Like, whether it was offense, defense, or special teams, everybody played their part. And that's how this team needs to be remembered. This isn't LOB defense complemented by generational running back. This isn't Tom Brady just winning a million rings. This isn't, hey, the Chiefs have drafted Patrick Mahomes, now they're going to be good for as long as he plays football. This is John Schneider building a roster that will stand the test of time. You know, one of the all-time great complete rosters, everybody doing their bit, with a head coach who not only is schematically and tactically exceptional, with a staff that support him very well in that as well, but has just done this most incredible job. I've never seen a team, I don't have intimate knowledge of every Super Bowl winner or every Super Bowl runner-up for that matter over the years as to how close those teams were. This feels like a uniquely close football team. You don't see this very often, and that's undoubtedly played a big part in why they're winners, why they're champions.
Absolutely agree with you. Now, my next question sounds like I'm asking you to compare this team to the LOB. So before anyone listening goes, oh my God, just enjoy the win. That's not what I'm doing. That's not the point of this question for Rob. You mentioned looking at other defenses. Someone asked me the other day how it compares, and I was like, I don't know. I guess I'd still put the LOB first, but it was because I had a different viewing experience, and I just experienced that team in a different way. It was so obviously dominant. But what's interesting about this team is when you look at either a basic stat like point differential, they have the highest, best point differential of any Super Bowl winner ever, which is crazy. But also by advanced metrics like DVOA, they're one of the best teams ever. Why aren't people talking about them like being one of the best teams ever?
I think it's because the LOB beat Peyton Manning's Denver, and at the time that was it was an unbelievable offense. It was a record-breaking offense. They were prolific, and that was billed as this amazing historic offense versus an amazing historic defense. And then the defense didn't just win the day, it pummeled the Broncos and made them look ridiculous on that day in New York. So I think that's why they got that attention. This is a very different situation. Drake May looked like a deer in headlights for the most part. The defense played a major contributing factor in that, but no one was kind of looking at Drake May and this Patriots offense as a similar kind of test. So that's probably the reason why they're not getting as much attention. But they thoroughly deserve it. They don't have as many brash characters shouting, demanding respect like the LOB had. You know, the number of times that Richard Sherman would say something and it would make headline news. You know, it was almost as if you must pay attention to us. And when people did pay them attention, it was like, that's not enough attention. We need even more. And that's not the character of this team. And it's probably another reason why people don't want to go overboard and sort of start talking about them as a legendary defense. But just everything about them on every single level, no holes, tactically unbelievable. A team that can both rush with four, but have some of the best blitzing imaginable. You know, cornerbacks who will hit you in the face who weigh about 185 pounds. You know, highly intelligent safety like Julian Love. I think I'm right in saying Kyle Shanahan said before the game on the broadcast that that's the smartest safety in the NFL. You know, people like that who don't get enough attention really. And just this unbelievably physical, tone-setting defensive front led by Jarran Reed and Leonard Williams and Byron Murphy with your edge rushers that complement that. It's just, it's the kind of football team that I've always wanted to root for. Like, if you were to say to me, what kind of team do you want? Some people might say, I want like the Mahomes type quarterback. I want 400 passing yards. I want finesse. This is the kind of team I want. This is the personality of the team that I want, the togetherness, the style of play that they do. It's a dream come true to be able to not just watch this team represent the Seahawks, but to watch them win a Super Bowl. And I can't wait to see how they're going to win another one next year.
I can't wait to see what's going to happen with K9. I'm watching him do his thing with 135 yards in the Super Bowl, 4 touchdowns during the postseason, and I'm enjoying every moment of it, but I'm also thinking we might not have him for too much longer. What do you make of the K9 situation, how he finished the season and his future in 2026?
It's a very realistic possibility that this is the end for him in Seattle. And the reason for that will not be because they don't want to keep Ken Walker. They have got some big decisions that are coming right around the corner. So Devon Witherspoon and Jackson Smith-Njigba are now eligible to receive contract extensions. They've played 3 seasons in the NFL. I think the Seahawks are going to make a big push at some point this year. It's possibly not going to be any time soon because they still have another year and then obviously the 5th-year option on their contract. It's probably more likely to be around training camp, I would guess, in the summer when we see those sort of big extensions. But they are going to take up a lot of the cash that is available. I'm not talking about the cap space here, but the cash that is going to be available to pay for players when they sign extensions, and they're going to get mega extensions, so they're going to be very, very expensive. And then you've got a collection of other players that you might want to keep, whether that is Kobe Bryant, Rashid Shaheed. You might not be able to keep all of these players. And if Ken Walker coming off a Super Bowl MVP performance, he's just changed his agents, they are now going to be looking at this and going, right, well, who is the highest paid running back in the NFL? you have got the run at the Super Bowl MVP on your roster. We want that kind of money. And the Seahawks might just not be comfortable doing that. The reason that they might keep him, potentially franchise tag gets him for another year and you lock him down for one more season at least, might be important given Zach Charbonnet's knee injury. But the only other thing is I'm looking at what's available out there. This is not a particularly great draft for running backs. Last year's was quite deep and thick. This one is thin. There's also not a great deal of exceptional free agents out there. Maybe they want to go and have a look and see if they can acquire someone like Devon Witherspoon from Miami, if he's still available via trade. He was reportedly before the deadline. That's an option for them. But because the options are not great and because Ken Walker finished strongly, they might just find a way to keep him. But it's going to be costly now.
You mentioned his name already, but sticking within the same realm of talking about free agents, Rashid Shaheed, you mentioned him on a list of priorities of guys that you're looking at. But, I mean, what kind of numbers are you looking at here? And what do you risk if you do move on?
Well, that's a difficult one to work out what he would get on the market, because as a receiver, he's not had those sort of consistent 1,000-yard seasons, 10 touchdowns. You know, in the last few weeks, his biggest impact for the Seahawks has been to make like a big play in the passing game, but really main role has been explosive returns, big plays in that regard. So how do you gauge what his market will be? You've then also got the possibility now that the Raiders are going to be interested in him because Clint Kubiak's worked with him in New Orleans, in Seattle. The Raiders are going to have as much cap space as anybody this offseason. They're going to have to spend some of it, and they might be willing to overpay to get someone like Rashid Shaheed. I think the thing that works in your favor is that when you traded for him, you made a commitment to him, and he seemed to appreciate that. He said in his press conference, I'm here to stay. This is where I want to be. So I think that probably works in your favor, that you can turn around to him and say, let's do a deal. He might be willing to do I hate using the words hometown discount, because I don't think any player is going to sort of give away money for the sake of it, but he might be more amenable in those negotiations to say, let's get this done. Let's find a way to get this done to keep him here. And I think you have to keep him. I think the reason this team is so good is because it's good in everything. Offense, defense, special teams. Don't lose one of those major factors on special teams that you've had this year. I want to see him returning kicks in 2026 for the Seahawks.
JSN was the best receiver this year. Put Puka right behind him if you want to. Do you expect him to be the highest paid receiver in the league?
Yes. I think there's no question about that. In fact, there is one question about that. It's going to be who gets paid first, because Puka Nacua's not got a fifth-year option. So there's a little bit more desperation on the part of the Rams to get that deal done now. Unlike the Seahawks, who can wait until July, August, September, they've got the benefit of the fifth-year option. I imagine that they're going to get this deal done, and it's going to be fairly routine to get the deal done. But they have got a bit more time to play with here. The Rams have got to do something, I would suggest, either before the open market happens in March or maybe shortly after that. So because of that reason, that would probably mean Puka Nacua gets paid first, Jackson Smith-Njigba gets paid second. That makes him the highest paid receiver in the NFL. But those two players are going to be 1 and 2. It's just the order of which who gets paid first, because whoever gets paid second is going to get the most money. But JSN's going to be in the top 2 without a shadow of a doubt.
He is Rob Staton of Seahawks Draft Blog, and what's crazy is here we are in mid-February already almost, and the next time we talk to you, we'll probably be previewing the draft and Seattle's next moves as they try to get to and win Super Bowl 61. Thanks so much, Rob.
Thanks, Rob.
Thanks, guys. Loved it, and what a season it's been.
Absolutely fun having you on. Thanks so much, man. Let's get to 4 Down territory.
This is 4 Down territory, going inside the game with former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
Bum, first down, what do you appreciate even more about the Seahawks defense?
Oh, man, I love the way the defensive line just influences, because as a receiver, my goal is to influence a DB, a linebacker, a safety to move, to believe that something there that isn't there, or to vacate a space so my other guy can get open. And that's what this defensive line did so great during the Super Bowl. It reminded me of, have you seen those videos of boats like surf launching and they're just cutting through the waves and people are getting all jacked up and stuff? It's not like that. Like the waves are moving all around and the boat is like Spoon just diving in there and making plays. Like he's able to cut through because of all the movement that the defensive line has created for him. And
it's a great analogy because I'm imagining it now.
See that?
Someone could like dart
I'm in there, cast around, but boom, I'm getting in there. But the more I watch the film of the defensive line, the more I appreciate that and the design of Mike McDonald moving those guys. But if they weren't powerful, if 99 wasn't a problem, if 99 wasn't a problem, if 90, 98 wasn't a problem, the influence on that offensive line when they do slant and stunt wouldn't be as great. So no, I appreciate that, man. It's fun to enjoy watching defensive line film.
Second down. How would you describe the way K9 played on Sunday?
I saw a little bit of everything. I think I was talking to Paul Moyer up in the booth. I saw some Le'Veon Bell. I saw him get to the line. Has he, boom, saw him go. I saw some Derrick Henry just hit it and go. I saw some Adrian Peterson, like get your knees up, buckle you and go. I saw some Alvin Kamara, like catching the football out the backfield. He brought everything to the table. He caught the football. He ran the football in between the tackles, outside the tackles. We're talking to G. Scott when he was in there a few minutes ago, and you asked him when he thought the Hawks won the game. He said the first play.
That was a great answer.
It was. I like that. It was like 10-yard run, first play. He had all week to prepare for this, 2 weeks, and you let the Hawks bang out 10 yards on the first play. I like that. But no, the way that K9 played was very versatile. And it's like he got so comfortable in his game that he was able to be his true self, man. It was fun watching him break defenders down, run them over, slow it down, speed it up. He played with a tempo that kept him guessing, and I'm happy for him, man. He's going to make some money.
Third down. What play by Sam Darnold showed the composure you wanted to see?
So it wasn't a play. It wasn't the play to JSN going across the middle in the third quarter. It wasn't the touchdown to A.J. Barner in the corner of the end zone. It was when he decided to run and scramble for 11 yards. He goes back. There's nothing there. Your center, your left guard gets beat. You have 97 looking right at you. He did not flinch. He stepped up in the pocket, kept his eyes down the field, and said, you know what? I'm going to go after this. And then he made a guy miss. So he made some good throws. He made some bad throws. But that play right there told me he's responsible tonight. He's going to take care of the football. He's going to take what the defense is giving him. This is the third quarter. You just started the third quarter. Now it's time to put it into this game. That composure, that decision-making, and that one play made me feel like it was going to be okay. I thought it was going to be okay regardless.
Yeah.
But that was like, all right, it's really going to be okay. No worries, guys.
It's like I almost wish that his performance in the NFC Championship game is the last thing that so many NFL fans would have seen because it's more of a statement win.
Yeah.
But also, I don't think Sam cares.
Nah, he don't care.
You know what I mean? He doesn't care at all. He has a ring. For him, he's like, I won this. You know, if you wanted to see 400 passing yards for me to like believe that I can be good, then sorry to disappoint. But I think it's cool knowing that he probably doesn't give a you know what.
Yeah, I'm good enough for this team in this situation.
Exactly.
Love
Fourth
it.
down. We were just joined by Seahawks draft blogs Rob Staton to begin the 11 a.m. hour. Anything stand out from that conversation?
Yeah, thinking about how different this team is going to be. You got Rashid Shaheed, who's a free agent. His market value, according to Spotrac, $14 million. Got Josh Jones, a good backup who we liked. His market value, $3 million. Boye Mafe, edge rusher. His market value, $8 million. Kenneth Walker, we know what that is, $9 million. Josh Jobe, $9 million. But you know what the biggest come up is going to be? Kobe freaking Bryant.
Yeah.
My man's market value is $14 million right now. And of course, you got Reek Woolen, who's a free agent, $8 million. You got Derek Young, who sprinkled in and helped out. No market value for him. But then the list goes on and on. I mean, Bubba's restricted, Drake is restricted. But these are some names, man. And all of these guys are not going to be back. They're not going to be back. So this team is going to look different. Who do they value the most? The thing that I'm most happy for, or the two I'm most happy for, are K9 and Kobe Bryant. So there's a time where fans were calling for K9 to get traded. They didn't like him. They didn't like his running style. And Kobe has just been through so much. I'm a corner. I'm a nickel. I'm a safety. I'm injured. You bring a guy in to beat me out. He does beat me out. I'm the starter now, and he put together a great season. So everybody get paid, but you won't get paid by the Seahawks.
I think it's a really good point about hindsight being 2020 or 2010, which is even better than 2020, doctors say. when you look at Ken Walker. And you're right, there were times during training camp where we were talking a lot about Zach looking great and the coaching staff. Are they favoring Zach? He's getting not just these carries in the red zone, but they tend to really like his leadership style, his running style, the way he understands the offense. And you're right, have people going, maybe you don't need Ken. Maybe you have an embarrassment of riches.
Mm-hmm.
Think of what would have happened if you did move on. Who knows if Zach would have, in that universe, still torn his ACL. But the point is, you can never have too much depth at running back. That is a position that takes a beating.
Yep.
And you want starters there. Mike McDonald continued making the rounds on Monday, stopping by Jimmy Kimmel Live. Hear what he said next on your home for the Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks. Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
Seahawks head coach Mike McDonald's first interview since winning the Super Bowl. Only on the Mike McDonald Show with Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
What have the last 44 hours been like?
I don't know. Best 44 hours ever. Be able to share that moment with the trophy with all the people that you like, all your loved ones. It's kind of like your wedding, but with the Lombardi.
Get the full conversation now on the Seattle Sports app from the home of your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Season 2 of Unrivaled Basketball is here and the energy is unreal. Stacy Ross here telling you to get ready because the best women's players on the planet are running it back with even bigger moments and bigger stakes. Built for the players, created by women's basketball stars, Unrivaled gives athletes a high-quality U.S.-based off-season league with better visibility and support. So don't miss as Paige Beckers, Nafisa Collier, Kelsey Plum, Brianna Stewart, and more take to the court and redefine the game. If you love high-intensity hoops, this is the league you've been waiting for. More action, more highlights, more star power. Every matchup, every highlight, every moment that makes you jump out of your seat, it's all back and bigger than ever. This isn't your regular season. This is Unrivaled. Games air on TNT, True TV, and HBO Max, so it's super easy to watch no matter where you are. Unrivaled Basketball, where the pace is faster, the energy higher, and every athlete shines.
The Seattle Seahawks are Super Bowl 60 champions. And now Wilson, the official football of the NFL, has released the limited edition Super Bowl 60 champions Duke Game Ball, exclusively available at BigTimeBats.com. This authentic 4-panel leather football features the Seahawks logo, bold Super Bowl champions lettering, the final score and date of the game, and the official Super Bowl 60 logo. Officially licensed, limited edition. Visit BigTimeBats.com and get the Seahawks Super Bowl 60 champions Duke Game Ball before they sell out.
Hey, Brock Ewart here with my buddy Dave Taylor from First Mark Insurance. You know, Dave, I love sport, you love sport. And I love sitting with coaches and hearing their game plan each and every week. What are the keys to a First Mark Insurance game plan?
It's a great question, Brock. I think there's really 3 keys to a great game plan with us. Number 1 is we want to make sure that our clients have the correct coverage for their unique specific needs. So that's number 1. Do you have the right coverage? Number 2, once we have the right coverage, are we getting that coverage at the most competitive price possible? And then last and not least would be, once we have the right coverage at the most competitive price, are we providing world-class service to those customers so that when they need it, they have someone there that's got their back?
Those are the 3 keys to a First Mark Challenge victory. And man, am I so glad Molly and I took the challenge. We are one of so many through a decade plus of being a First Mark Challenge victory. You can too. Just simply go to firstmarkinsurance.com. Firstmarkinsurance.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. With other language learning apps, I was just playing games. I wasn't really learning. Babbel's different.
Babbel was designed by over 200 language learning experts to be the most effective way to learn another language.
Every time I open the app, I can choose to work on my writing, speaking, or listening. And it saves my mistakes for me to review, so I'm constantly improving. Before Babbel, I thought I just wasn't good with languages. But now I'm speaking French. Tout ça, c'est grâce à Babbel.
Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
The celebration continues.
We never wavered, man. We believed in each other. We loved each other.
On the home of your Super Bowl champion Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Seattle Sports Championship Parade coverage is provided by Harborstone Credit Union. It's a good day to be a football fan and a Harborstone Credit Union member. They've been voted the best credit union and best place to work. They're in the top 1% of credit unions for products and services in Washington State, and they've got a best-in-class mobile app. Harborstone Credit Union delivers real support to help people thrive. With over 30 branches from Olympia to Bellingham, find one near you. Go to harborstone.com.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for honest pricing, expert service, and guaranteed repairs. This dedication has earned them a Carfax Preferred designation. At Bucky's, every customer gets detailed Carfax updates, timely service reminders, and a full service history, all at your fingertips. With 16 family-owned locations, no appointment needed, and easy financing, Bucky's makes auto care simple. Visit Bucky's.com today and drive with confidence. Bucky's.com.
Hi, I'm Tom Shane. Since 1929, Shane Company has helped millions of customers find their dream engagement ring. I still hand-select every ruby and sapphire center stone, choosing each one for its unique color and life. We're proud to offer the widest selection of beautiful colored gemstones for your engagement ring and fine jewelry. Because a friend wants you to have nothing but the best. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Get your championship gear at Simply Seattle, your go-to shop for Seahawks gear with both licensed and custom designs you won't find anywhere else. Use code ESPN15 for 15% off your order at simplyseattle.com. Celebrate the title with jerseys, shirts, hoodies, hats, and collectibles. Want your gear in time for the parade? Shop in person at Simply Seattle on First Ave. And get ready for spring training with Mariners gear and Simply Originals like the Kid Logo hoodie. Code ESPN15 at simplyseattle.com.
This is The Timeline
with Bump and Stacy.
Brought to you by 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
Many parents will probably pull their kids out of school tomorrow to attend the Seahawks Super Bowl parade. Oh, by the way, I should mention, I was mentioning that starts at 11, and I wasn't saying the Crossroads. That's going to be at 4th Ave and Washington Street is where the parade is going to start, and then all along 4th Ave is the route. Parade starts at 11 a.m. However, Seattle Public Schools, boo, sent out an email last night to parents saying they won't excuse any absence
some haters
for attending the parade.
Boo.
So ex-user Justin Boldaji posted a screenshot of an email that they received, and it was from Seattle Public Schools that said, please note, attendance policies will remain in effect, which was bolded, so you know they were being sassy about it. And they said, parade attendance will not be considered an excused absence. What's your problem?
Wow. Haters of fun.
Seriously. Seattle Public Schools, I'm disappointed in you.
First off,
you just don't
go to school. Not an excused absence. What are you gonna do? Like, what are they really?
You in what army?
Yeah, you're gonna fire me from school?
Like, come on, man. Y'all's tripping. They're just trying to say the right things. There's a bunch of admins who ain't gonna go to that day.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
They tripping, man. Let them kids do it. You know what? When the Lakers won, I ditched every parade. I was there. And no one was at school, and everyone knew it. No one even tripped.
And I bet those are memories you love having.
Yeah, loved it.
So, look, I hope that Tyee High School, my alma mater, is not doing this. I'd hate to see that. Get your head in the game.
Get your head in the game.
425 says North Shore School District is excusing absences.
Well, they're doing it right.
Shout out to them.
Because look, here's the kids are going to go no matter what.
Yeah.
Just treat it like a snow day. Tack it on at the end of the year. Here I am, with no idea how all this works, and it's much more complicated than I'm making it sound. But I feel bad for these kids and the parents that now have to navigate it because, guys, half your class isn't showing up. It's just going to happen.
I was reading some horror stories of, now they're adults, but when the Seahawks won in 2014, some teachers would schedule tests on the day of the Super Bowl parade.
That's
and it's
evil.
like, that's
mean.
That is so mean.
You're a mean
awful.
person. Like, what's the point?
What are you trying to do there? You're just going against fun. You're going against what the consensus is that day. Like, just treat it like a snow day.
These kids were like, some of these kids were like 4 when the Hawks won.
Yeah. Let them enjoy it.
Let them have it, man.
Come on. These are memories that you have forever. It's okay. Mike McDonald continued making the rounds on Monday, stopping by Jimmy Kimmel Live. Did you guys watch this? Did anyone watch it?
Nah.
Saw clips.
I watched it. It was a relatively quick interview. For someone who seems like he doesn't love speaking and has talked openly about it. I thought he was great. I was like, oh, I think Mike McDonald I think he's secretly pretty good at this. You were in front of a live studio audience on a nationally televised, like a national show, and you were totally fine. I'm on to you, Mike. I'm on to you. First, he was asked why he had a blank reaction after the clock ran out on that win. And sorry, that is right here.
What are you looking at there? What are you thinking?
Well, I have a bad history with memes now. Between that and we did not care.
Yeah.
It's funny. It all happened really fast. We were trying to tackle the guy in bounds so the game would end. It's like the game's over, and then one of our coaches was like, "Hey, you just won the Super Bowl." So that's pretty cool. And then so I'm like, "Okay, well now I get to go. We'll shake the hand and let's go." And then the Gatorade came, which was awesome. And then there's like this, but then there's cameras everywhere. And so I'm like awkward. I'm not trying to look at the cameras. I don't know what to do. So there's fireworks going. So my head goes up. I'll just look at the fireworks. So
looking at the fireworks.
Yeah.
I appreciate the idea of, well, there's cameras everywhere, so I didn't know what to do. I just looked up to the sky. Avoided making eye contact with the camera.
Yeah, that has to be weird. I always wonder, like, when, they do those pregame clips and guys are warming up. Like, the camera's right there. It feels kind of awkward, but that was the most relaxed I've heard Mike McDonald. But when you've gone through this whole season, you hit some franchise goals, obviously winning a Super Bowl, you can relax for a little bit. That's the most relaxed I've heard Mike McDonald in 2 years.
Here's one more. He jokes about getting a raise for being a defensive play caller in addition to a head coach.
When I started coaching, I just wanted to be a defensive coordinator. I didn't really have aspirations to be a head coach. When I got to Michigan and then going back to Baltimore, you started a vision of how you'd want to run your own team. That started to come to life. But for the longest time, I just wanted to dial up blitzes and run cool, coverages and stunts and stuff. But
shouldn't you
the
get
vision got bigger from there?
Shouldn't you get a separate salary for that?
I don't know. Maybe John and Jody are listening. I don't know.
I do appreciate him saying, I just wanted to be a defensive coordinator. The plan wasn't, I'm going to be a head coach and everyone's, I'm going to have this Super Bowl winning team. It was, I just want to dial up blitzes, man. I just want to have fun with my friends.
Yeah, as you climb that ladder, though, and you work for a couple different organizations, you start to see some things you like, some things you don't like. Doesn't mean you didn't have a good experience. And then you imagine yourself doing it yourself. Yeah, he might have started there as an intern. Yeah, I just want to be DC. But you get a taste of that success and that power. Not like he's power tripping at all, but you want to see, am I capable of running an organization? Yes, you are, Coach. Yes, you are, a Super Bowl champ.
I think it was really interesting to me to hear because I think he probably had to be convinced and convince himself along the way that he should be a head coach. He strikes me as a somewhat natural introvert, a pretty intense guy. And I think that can sometimes, not that personality type, but I think sometimes the best leaders are the people who didn't set out necessarily to do that. And they find that through their own skill or through people believing in them or through, principles that they adopt along the way that they're like, you know what, I feel like I could do this. And sometimes the worst ones are the ones that start out going, oh, I should definitely be a leader here. I should definitely be a head coach. I should absolutely be president. I should absolutely whatever other head title jobs there are. And it's like, no, it's kind of better if you find that suits you rather than assume that it must.
Yeah, it has to be a good fit. And we'll see if it's a good fit for Kubiak, too.
He also says that given his failed pro career, had to retire in high school, he tries not to yell at guys when they make mistakes.
No, I don't scream.
Not a screamer.
It's tough. A guy that didn't play, if you're screaming at guys, doesn't go over very well.
You think that's part of it? Because you played what? High school was the...
Yeah, I retired in high school.
You retired. Do the guys ever, give you crap about that?
I give myself crap to the guys, yeah. It's like,
Smart.
hey, we both know that I can't do, so...
That's smart.
We'll go from there.
Beat him to the punch.
Yeah, that's how you're supposed to do it. And then when you win a couple Super Bowl championships, no one's even going to question if you played in high school or not. No, that's the way to do it. Treat these guys with respect. Different day and age, too, when it comes to these players, man. You can't get at them the way they used to get at us. You got to show that you care about them, one, which I think he's done a great job of doing. And I've heard him hold them accountable. It's not like he don't raise his voice. I've heard him raise his voice before. But once you start getting at an individual personally and embarrassing them, that's a bit different. Back in my day, man, I remember the first time I got yelled at as a player. I was a sophomore at Culver High School. We were playing Losinger. I was a safety, and I got beat deep right before the half. right? And then I go into the locker room, our defensive coordinator, Coach Miles. I'm like, hey, coach. He goes, shut your, you know what? You can be deep. I ain't letting no sophomore ruin this for me. Blah, blah, blah. Going at me. I felt like crying. I'm like, damn. And then I don't start the second half. And then he goes, bum, get your, you know what, in there. I'm like, I will never get beat deep again. Never again.
Never again. And you never did.
I never did.
Never
they might
did.
have caught it, but I didn't get beat deep.
Oh, God. What was I going to add to this? I wonder if Emmanuel Acho has talked to the Seahawks defenders and told them not to listen to Mike McDonald because he never played professionally.
Come on. Krzyzewski never played. One of the greatest coaches of all time. Nick Saban never played.
Why would I listen to you?
Man.
Great advice from Emmanuel Acho. You know what? Not every take lands. Some of them are great. He knows the stuff. He knows what he's doing. Some of them are fine. That one, tough one. Yeah. And I think about it every time I hear people like Mike McDonald where it's like, yeah, I think this guy knows what he's doing. Just because he didn't play professionally doesn't mean he doesn't know how to dial up a great game plan.
You're around football as much as McDonald's been around football. You good.
Things got a little tense during NBC's Super Bowl pregame show when Hall of Fame voter Tony Dungy and Rodney Harrison discussed the snub of Bill Belichick. Dungy refused to answer whether or not he voted for Bill.
Did you vote for Bill Belichick?
Jack, I'm not going to disclose that. When you come on the committee, you take an oath that you're not going to discuss any of the debates, anything that happened there. I'm not going to put any of my teammates under the bus, who they voted for, who I voted for. Here's the situation, okay? In this category, coaches, contributors, senior players, there are 5 finalists. You could vote. We voted as a team. Our group voted. Roger Craig got the most votes. I stand behind that as a teammate. That's how we voted.
Harrison snapped back at Dungy and the rest of the voters.
What I would say, Coach, is any list that doesn't include Bill Belichick at the top is absolutely wrong. And a lot of those players that we mentioned, they're great players. I played with Drew Brees. I played with Adam Vinatieri. But there's nobody more deserving to be in that Hall of Fame than Coach Belichick. I've seen his greatness. I've seen him design defenses to stop your offense. And you just look at the players that he's impacted. He's been unbelievable. And when I look out throughout the Hall of Fame, and even a guy like Tom Brady wouldn't be Tom Brady without Bill Belichick. And that's the disappointing part of it, Coach, and you guys got it wrong.
Oh, he did it respectfully but sternly. Here's the problem, man. When you start getting the coaches and contributors in with the players, and you only have certain amounts, that's going to affect the way these guys vote. And also, when older players are about to be cycled out the rotations where they can't make it anymore, that's going to affect it. There's a flaw in the system, but that flaw should not keep Bill Belichick out. There's no way that these dudes should have kept Bill Belichick out. I understand what's wrong with it, but I don't care what the rules are. He gets in.
Devon Witherspoon says the Patriots had a tell in the Super Bowl. More on that next in your home for the Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks, Seattle Sports, and the Seattle Sports app.
It's why we bake in the sun, out on the berm every summer at training camp. It's why we scream till it hurts. Come fall and winter.
Listen to the 12th man.
It's why we're 12s.
And the party begins. The Seahawks win Super Bowl 60.
Soak it in.
They lived up to the dark side today. It's going to go down in the history books.
We are the home of your Super Bowl champion Seahawks. Seattle Sports.
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, Accurate Auto Body.
If you've been in an auto accident, you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, Accurate Auto Body.
We've all been there. Sleepless nights, mind racing, wondering if your business's security service is really protecting what matters. At Bay Alarm, we can put your security insecurities to bed. Video security, burglar alarms, fire alarms, access control, 24/7 monitoring, and more. Our advanced technology and personalized support ensure you can rest easy, knowing we're here for you, your people, and your business. Visit bayalarm.com to talk to a local security expert. Bay Alarm, we got you.
Bull riding is not just a sport, it's a gamble of guts and glory. Nothing else compares. It's Busch Light PBR Everett at Angel of the Winds Arena this weekend. Ready to be cowboy? Get your tickets at Ticketmaster. It's bull time.
Trust is everything. Earning it takes years.
Losing it takes 5 seconds.
Lee Johnson Auto Family.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter? Right? And the best part? They accept Discover. Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer. Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times. Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants? These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide, based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
Access to education changes lives. That's why National University provides flexible online and hybrid programs from associate to doctorate degrees. Since 1971, NU was built to serve non-traditional working and military learners nationwide. NU understands the demands of work, family, and service. Each year, more than 130,000 learners trust National University to move forward. Visit nu.edu to learn more.
New siding doesn't have to break the bank. We offer affordable options that add value and protection to your home. This is Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. And while we're at it, ask about our roofing, windows, decking, and gutter services for even more savings. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to schedule your free siding inspection. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
State Roofing, the best roof you'll ever need.
Whether I'm catching up with friends or family, C-Star Restaurant and Raw Bar in Bellevue is the place. Hey, Brock Heward here, and I love C-Star's welcoming atmosphere and polished service, which make conversations flow easily and everyone leaves impressed. It's the same quality and hospitality C-Star and Chef John Howie have been known for decades. And now an amazing deal. 3-course dinners in the lounge every night from open to close starting at just $50. Go check it out. Find the details at CStarRestaurant.com, CStarRestaurant.com.
Home of your Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks.
They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest.
Seattle Sports. Wesley is a truck driver.
I drive a truck, and I love what I do.
A truck driver with IRS troubles.
They told me I owed them $43,000.
It got really bad.
Quite a few letters in the mail. They were talking about wage garnishment, coming after my house, my car. Yeah, they don't play around. I seriously thought that I was going to lose everything.
One sleepless night, Wesley finally made a call to Optima Tax Relief at 2 a.m.
I figured I'd get a machine, but I didn't. I actually got to talk to an actual person in the middle of the night.
He found just what he was looking for.
Oh, they were great people. You need a team of people that know what they're doing. Optima Tax, they know what they're doing.
Optima Tax Relief came through with flying colors.
I saved an incredible amount of money. Happy don't even come close. I was absolutely overjoyed.
Take Wesley's advice.
If you're in any kind of trouble with the IRS, call Optima Tax Relief. Don't trust anybody else.
Call Optima for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Seattle fans, your team has made football history and are back on top. Celebrate their big win and keep the memories of their amazing season alive with this limited edition full-size championship football for just $129.95. But act fast because only 5,000 will ever be made. To order, call 800-345-2868. That's 800-345-2868. Or visit NICOsports.com. That's NIKCO sports.com. Don't get left out as these will sell out.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for honest pricing, expert service, and guaranteed repairs. This dedication has earned them a Carfax Preferred designation. At Bucky's, every customer gets detailed Carfax updates, timely service reminders, and a full service history, all at your fingertips. With 16 family-owned locations, no appointment needed, and easy financing, Bucky's makes auto care simple. Visit Bucky's.com today and drive with confidence. Bucky's.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Devon Witherspoon shared what he saw in the Super Bowl with SiriusXM NFL Radio Network postgame on Sunday. Take a listen.
Did you know that they were going to use you as versatile as you were today?
Well, of course I did. You know, they asked a lot of questions pre this game, before this game, and I told them I can't lay the game plan out to the media, you know, but I kind of knew what was going on. We had a good tell on what they like to do and how they like to play and how they was going to attack us. So you talking about a coach who put us in the best position to win? That's our coach right there, and that's why we stand beside him, and that's how we always going to have his back.
But you're taking one of the best corners on the field, and you want to keep them in coverage, but you're one of the best blitzers today. Why was that?
You know, we had to tell on their guards and their tackles how they like to set. If they're going to overset on certain rushes, they're going to fall for certain moves. And talking about a group of guys who got after them today, I think we did that.
Now, initially, this was a conversation just about, hey, you had an amazing game from Benjamin Solak. 22% of your season's blitzes came in this game. And then what came from it is us now talking about how the Seahawks picked up on a tell from the Patriots. And you could see Patriots fans, people covering the team. I was just looking at a CBS analyst covering the team that said it certainly felt as though probably that feeling Seahawks fans felt when they faced Mike Macdonald's Baltimore defense. They knew what you were going to do.
It's good coaching. That's hours of film study. That's watching the same play 10 to 12 times before you move on. That's just great coaching, man. And it's awesome when your coach gives you a tell and you go out there and you see it. You know, you see it on film and you go out there. And it's almost like it happens. You start looking at your boys like, you see that?
Yeah.
You see that? Like, it's real. So, yeah, big ups to Mike Macdonald.
What do we think the tell was?
I don't know. Maybe they're the gaps, like how far they are in their sets, weight. A lot of times, guys seem to lean a bit more forward when they're done in pass block and backwards when they, run block and backwards when they pass block. It could be eyes. It can be a whole bunch of stuff. Alignment. Yeah, there's a lot going on there.
Patriots fans have their own theories they're throwing out there. A couple of people said, Will Campbell had such an awful game that it must have been him. Like maybe he was doing something with his arm or doing a certain thing. Someone else was posting that Mike and Wenu is who they were keying in on, just like whether he was sitting back a certain way or tilting a certain way. Either way, shout out to whoever on the Seahawks coaching staff or whichever players picked up on that quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And a little interesting that the assistant of the year and Josh McDaniels, that they didn't, correct anything. That's just me, not necessarily.
You got assistant of the year?
Mm-hmm. That's not me like taking a shot per se. It's just that I wonder what you do in that moment.
I'm gonna start. You know what? I got homework tonight.
To find the tell?
I'm gonna try to find that dang
Find the tell. Find what the tell is. This is exactly why you hired Mike Macdonald. And a question that I see a lot from people is, will this change the way that people see defensive coordinators as head coaching hires? Because he's clearly brilliant. He's a brilliant guy. It's not like, I don't know that he picked up on this tell, but it's very clear that his players are coached up well, taught well.
Yeah, I think that the NFL follows trends. And you had two defensive coaches coaching in the Super Bowl. But I still feel like offense is going to be king. People are going to love the young new hire who's innovative, because when you're on the attack, right, that's a more comfortable position to be in. When you're the attacker, you're the attacker. That's offense, right? Defense, obviously, like the word says, you're on defense, right? You are reacting to everything that's going on. I think offense is always going to run this league, but I think that it might influence a couple more franchises to take a stronger look.
Yeah, I think that I wonder if the success of the next coordinator also impacts that, because I think people see it as if you have more stability on the offensive side of things, that could lend itself to more instability as a franchise. Whereas like Kyle Shanahan's going to cycle through his 5th or 6th defensive coordinator, but people aren't losing faith in the 49ers because they see it as like, well, your identity, your play callers aren't going anywhere. Same with the Rams. You've gone through multiple defensive coordinators, but your play callers, that connection to your quarterback, to your offense, to things that we can predict, that's always going to be there. And I don't think people are used to feeling that way with defense. No,
it's a different feeling. And it feels like it's harder to replace a good OC than a DC for some reason. It just feels that way. I don't even know the numbers. I don't know the stats. I have nothing to back this up. Just a feeling that I have is because it feels like offense is a bit more complicated.
Yeah.
Which defense can be complicated too. You're reading shades, the strength, there's emotions, you got to adjust, you got to communicate. But offense is, I think people just view offensive guys as smarter dudes, and that's not necessarily the truth.
Can I ask you a question? How often in games do guys key in on a tell? This can't be the first time in a game this season the Seahawks picked up on a tell from a player.
No, they're tells all the time. Like, for example, me personally as a receiver, I read the triangle, the slot receiver, right? It's the furthest guy outside on the second level. Could be a backer, could be a safety. The corner and the safety. That triangle told me everything I need to know. I could tell when the second level defender inside was going to the flat. right? I remember this one guy. Oh, who did he play for? I want to say he played for Auburn. When he was going to the flat, like his right foot would just twitch a little bit. Like he's ready to take that step. So I knew, all right, he's gonna fly to the flat. So it allowed me to adjust my route accordingly. So there's little things like that guys pick up on all the time.
So we think it was an offense. Well, we know it was a guard or one of the linemen for this because Devon said it, but do we think it was one guy? Did we think it was something that they were doing as a group?
Maybe just, who knows, man.
I mean, you're going to spend a lot of time. Great,
yeah.
we've just given you more hours to
Thank you.
spend watching film. You're welcome.
I need things to do. Football season's over.
Do what we can. I think a prominent theory is that it's Campbell, but I wonder if it's someone else.
We know that left side was struggling, though.
Yeah, they were. Okay, well, we're excited to know what you learn from watching film, if you pick up on the tell. Washington's biggest night out for sports is almost here, the 91st Annual Sports Star of the Year Awards. The star-studded event brings together the athletes and icons behind our favorite teams and unforgettable moments. Be part of history and cast your vote for the men's and women's sports stars of 2025, representing the best of Washington sports. You can also vote for Sports Story of the Year. Voting is open now through February 14th, so head to seattlesports.org and make your voice heard. The winners will be announced live at the 91st Annual Sports Star of the Year Awards presented by Microsoft on Friday, March 13th. Don't miss out. Vote now and be part of the celebration. Looking at Super Bowl 60 by the numbers, are the 2025 Seahawks one of the greatest teams ever? That's next on your home for the Super Bowl champion Seahawks, Seattle Sports, and the Seattle Sports app.
It's why we bake in the sun out on the berm every summer at training camp. It's why we scream till it hurts. Come fall and winter.
Listen to the 12th man.
It's why we're 12s.
And the party begins. The Seahawks win Super Bowl 60.
Soak it in.
They lived up to the dark side today. It's going to go down in the history books.
We are the home of your Super Bowl champion Seahawks. Seattle Sports.
I'm going to be honest with you guys. I would rather get my teeth drilled than go to a car dealership. However, I recently had a breakdown with my vehicle, and I knew that I had to get a new one. I knew where to go. Wayscar Ford in Auburn. I'd heard amazing things. I knew the GM, Mark, so I ended up going out there. Mark, you're with me right now, and I got to be honest, even knowing you, I was nervous. Just being at a car dealership brings pressure, but you guys really focus on customer experience.
Well, there are some dealerships where you go in and you feel like you're getting jumped on. We don't do that, okay? There's absolutely no pressure at our dealership, period. And we backed it up with a 5-day or 500-mile, 100%, no questions asked, money-back guarantee. We only want to sell you a car if you want to buy one. So if you want a low-pressure experience, check out our reviews. We have thousands of 5-star reviews. You can buy with confidence. Wayscar Ford's been family-owned and operated in downtown Auburn for over 103 years. You don't stay in business that long by not taking care of people.
See it for yourself at Wayscar Ford in Auburn. That's wayscarford.com.
This is for all you guys on Viagra. ED pills are no longer needed. The brutal side effects like 4-hour headaches, blurred vision, and that flush feeling can all be put behind you with our treatment. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we have a better approach to ED. Acoustic wave therapy creates blood flow circulation by safely removing the plaque in your arteries and restoring function naturally. Guys, let me be clear. Pills will never fix your problem. Our equipment is the latest technology, and our medical staff is the best in the industry. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. If you suffer from ED or Peyronie's disease, give West Coast Men's Health a call today. It's not just about better health. It's about a better life.
With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. That's 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
Hey, Brock Hewitt here for my friends at People Come First, or PCF Construction Group. Are you tired of grilling in the cold and rain every winter? Well, with a patio cover, heater, and fireplace from PCF, you can enjoy your outdoor deck or patio all year long, staying warm and dry, even in the cold winter. Take advantage of off-season savings through February 15th, and you can get up to 10% off your entire project, plus 12 months with no payments and no interest. You see, most people don't consider building a deck in the winter, but if you want yours ready by next spring and summer, contact PCF right now to start planning. Spend the winter dreaming and designing your project so you're ready to build by spring. Planning and permits, they take a little time, so get started now. Get project ideas, browse the photos, and find all the offer details at pcfgroup.com. That's my friends online at pcfgroup.com.
making your outdoor space with people come first.
The Seattle Seahawks are Super Bowl 60 champions. And now Wilson, the official football of the NFL, has released the limited edition Super Bowl 60 Champions Duke Game Ball, exclusively available at BigTimeBats.com. This authentic 4-panel leather football features the Seahawks logo, bold Super Bowl champions lettering, the final score and date of the game, and the official Super Bowl 60 logo. Officially licensed, limited edition. Visit BigTimeBats.com and get the Seahawks Super Bowl 60 champions Duke Game Ball before they sell out.
I saw her texting, coming up to a stop sign, and so I saw the accident coming, and she T-boned us.
In the blink of an eye, Crystal's life changed when she suffered a severe spinal injury.
The pain was something I had never experienced before in my neck. I got massage therapy. I saw a chiropractor. I was prescribed muscle relaxers so I could sleep. I got depressed. Nothing was relieving the pain.
Drugs, sleepless nights, and depression. Sound familiar? I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist. At Sound Pain Solutions, our treatments include high-dose laser combined with spinal decompression and other comprehensive therapies to rehabilitate damaged discs. We use treatments that are non-surgical, FDA-cleared, drug and pain-free.
I was able to get off my pain medicines, and I was able to sleep through the night, and that was what I was desperate for.
To learn if you're a candidate for our treatment, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025, or click soundpainsolutions.com.
Underestimating the trucking industry is one of the biggest mistakes I see victims and other lawyers make. Trucking companies have an army of lawyers and experts who act quickly after an accident to protect the company. Only an experienced trucking accident lawyer can navigate the complicated federal and state laws to protect your rights. If you or a loved one has been injured in a trucking accident, call Davis Law Group today for a free consultation, or get my free book on trucking accident law at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Home of your Super Bowl champion Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest. This is the power of 12 is 1, man.
KIRO AM Seattle and KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Seahawks Super Bowl parade is tomorrow. Get there early. The ceremony begins at 10 a.m. inside Lumen Field. That's a ticketed event that's sold out, but the parade itself is public. We're going to be broadcasting the entire thing. So beginning at 10 a.m., you can hear the ceremony, the celebration inside Lumen, and then the parade itself starts at 4th and Washington Street at 11.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. Super Bowl 60 by the numbers. According to FTN Fantasy's Aaron Schatz, the creator of DVOA, the 2025 Seattle Seahawks are one of the greatest teams ever. He ranks them as the number 3 Super Bowl team. And this is like in Super Bowl history, clearly. But what I want to talk about, Bump, is why they weren't talked about like that way, during the season. During the season, it was, hey, the Seahawks are very clearly one of the best teams this year. I don't remember, outside of Aaron Schatz, because he was a guest on with us a couple times and was talking about historically how they ranked DVOA-wise. But outside of that, I don't remember a lot of people talking about how the Seahawks, oh, my God, this is one of the best teams we've ever seen. You can't believe this. It's unbelievable. One of the best teams historically in NFL history. Only now, Bump, that we look at, best point differential of Super Bowl winners, one of the best DVOAs of Super Bowl champions. Only now do you see it that way.
Yeah, because you got to go through the process, unless you have a Hall of Fame type quarterback already. I mean, who do you have on this team right now that you feel like is a guy you're saying, yeah, he's a Hall of Famer for sure right now?
I mean, maybe in the future, but
maybe Cooper.
Yeah,
Kupp,
yes,
but he's not. But he's not playing a Hall of Fame status right now. You know what I mean? Yeah, there's a decline in it. So I think that has something to do with it as well. Is that
that's a good point.
We just don't have that type of star power right now as far as Hall of Fame. We have star power as far as guys on the rise. With JSN, with K9, with Spoon, and all those guys. So I think that has something to do with it, and because of the reputation of this team is that they're a mediocre team, right? They're going to win 10 games and might get to the playoffs, might not get to the playoffs.
Point.
You have a second-year head coach. So there are so many things that go against a team being one of the best of all time as far as what's on paper, is that when you're watching things happen throughout the season, naturally you don't put them in a category with the best, and then you harp on their shortcomings more than giving them their flowers. I've done that too. That's the way I live with my teams. It's like, until they do it, I'm going to be a bit skeptical.
Seahawks had 50-1 odds to make the Super Bowl, to win the Super Bowl. They were favored to finish third or in some cases fourth in the NFC West. The over-under on wins was about 7.5, maybe 8, depending on which sports book you're looking at. And yet, like Aaron Schatz said, they are one of the best teams ever. This defense is historically strong, the 12th best DVOA measured since 1978. Special teams, the 24th best, to go with an above-average offense that finished top 5 in scoring in the regular season. So that's the final product versus the expectation. Did the Seahawks get lucky, or did everyone overlook how good they can be?
Oh, they overlooked for sure.
What'd they overlook?
Overlooked. The additions. Overlooked the addition of D-Law. Overlooked the addition of Cooper Kupp. Granted, his numbers aren't superstar numbers, but the impact that he has on this football team, I think they overlooked the potential of a Kubiak offense. I think they overlooked the impact of a Nicky Mawari, a rookie, and what he can do. I mean, when he was drafted, people were like, "Oh, we got a safety. Cool. What's gonna happen with Kobe?" You know what I mean? It was like, nah, you got a safety, a linebacker, an edge rusher.
You got to do everything.
You got a nickel. You got something else. Kobe's gonna be good on the back end. So I think that when you put a new group of guys together, it just brings uncertainty. You don't know. You think about the Patriots and their run. You knew Tom Brady was going to be there. You knew staples on the defense were going to be there, depending on the era. He played like 3 eras, dang Tom Brady, for 2 decades. But there's always something that you knew that you can rely on and you can count on. You didn't know you can rely on Jason or count on him. You felt like he had potential, but you didn't necessarily know. You didn't know if you can rely or count on K9 because 2 years before he's been banged up and wasn't producing. So I think I'm not mad at anyone who was watching this whole journey go down and didn't feel like this could be one of the best teams ever. But sooner or later, you got to start buying into it a little bit more. And that's what I had to do it on Thursday night. I tell you all the time, Thursday Night Football against the Rams, that's when I was like, all right, they might be able to do something.
I don't mean to harp on the same question, but I want to keep peeling it back. I think it's one of the most important questions, one of the most fascinating parts of the Seahawks season. You said, hey, I think that this wasn't a team that got lucky. This was a team that was overlooked. Mm-hmm. You said they overlooked the addition of DeMarcus Lawrence, what that would mean. They overlooked the addition of Cooper Kupp. They overlooked what Clint Kubiak could do with this offense. They overlooked Sam. Why? And you guys can join this conversation on the text line, 866-979-3776. This is, to me, the most fascinating part of the season. Why'd they overlook it? Because I think you're right. I mean, I know you're right. You typically are. But, like, you're right in that this wasn't luck. Like, you don't luck into being that consistent all year long. You don't luck into winning a Super Bowl. People clearly overlooked it. Why?
You overlooked. Why? Because your quarterback had 2 horrible games in his season with the Vikings, and people are questioning him. It's doubt. It's doubt. And when a product is not proven, you're going to doubt it. Yeah. You know when I get the most nervous? When I buy something off of Instagram. I'm like, man.
I always tell you not to. You don't listen to me.
One, is it going to show up?
You don't listen to me with that.
And 2, is it going to work the way that it did in this video when this 28-year-old dude sold the heck out of it to me? All right, half the time it does, half the time it doesn't.
It's probably more than half.
All right, well, I don't buy a lot.
You still waiting for those T-shirts?
It's still waiting on my T-shirts.
What was it, 10 for 20?
It was something stupid. It's what it was. Okay. Too good to be true. That's me watching film late and saying, oh, maybe I should get these shirts. Anyway, it has to be proven, right? There has to be a history. There has to be a lineage of that stuff. So now going into this next season, you already see that Fox has them at number 2. You already see ESPN has them at number 1. Why? Because now they have shown that they could do it. So for the next 2 to 3 years, there's going to be benefit of the doubt. And this team got no benefit of the doubt going into the season, just the doubt.
I wrote down when you were talking what I felt like it was getting to, because I entirely believe it. We don't trust the unknown. We trust what's worked and is known, even when our brain might be telling us this is a good option. Mm-hmm. Like, our brain can look at Sam Darnold through most of the season and say, hey, he looks like he took a pretty real step forward.
Mm-hmm.
He's getting paired up with a coordinator he knows and has worked with before. And he's going to be on a team that should have a really good defense. Our brain is able to piece together, these are all good things.
Yeah.
But we know Matthew Stafford's won a Super Bowl.
Yep.
We know Sean McVay's won a Super Bowl. We know Puka Nacua last year looked pretty good. We know those things. So even though we can see and put together that these pieces should work, our brain doesn't trust the unknown. We don't bet on the unknown. We go with what feels safe.
Yeah. We go with what we've seen before.
Or a quarterback we try. Ultimately, it's quarterback, play caller, head coach.
There's only a few things people just believe in blindly, and most of that is faith, right? You ain't seen them, but you believe in them. You're floating around here somewhere. But in this tangible world that we live in, this competition, you tend to go with things that you have seen on film. And that's why the later we got into the season, the more I started to believe, because I'm watching Leo, I'm watching Jay Reed, I'm watching Spoon, JSN, and all these guys put in that work and expose these dudes. So that's why my belief meter went up. I go into situations preparing for the worst all the time. I'm like, all right, I go see this movie, maybe it's not going to hit. And I saw Sinners, like, it ain't going to hit like that, Sinners, man. Bomb, Sinners was fire, right? I go in Happy Gilmore too. Maybe gonna hit like that. It was all right, so I wasn't that disappointed.
Sure,
that's just how I think. And I think it's human nature to go into a lot of situations like that, especially sports when you got a guy who's been in the league 10 years, a coach who's been there 15 years. Oh, second year head coach.
Yep.
Oh, second time really being the guy understand our quarterback. Yeah, it's natural.
Yeah, we don't want to risk our emotions.
Yeah,
we want to guard them. You want to go with safe bets because you don't want to lose. It's natural. And when you're wrong, you don't want to admit you're wrong. All of these are human things, and sports is just kind of a perfect way to highlight them. I feel like Steve Ballmer, when he was clapping, going, developers. I'm like looking at all the listeners and Matt and Curtis in the control room, and you going, but why? But why? Developers. Text in your answers.
Developers.
I know that's right, Steve. Yes. I know that's right. Yes, that's me right now. Why? But why? We know that this was not luck. We know that this was not them falling backwards into a Super Bowl team. Why didn't anyone pick them? 866-979-3776. Bump, I have some answers for you to think about. Okay, tell me what you think about some of these. Overlooked, says the 206, because experts are lazy. They even like picking Kyler Murray to lead the Cardinals as a unique pick.
Well,
Is it because
Kyler
people are
Murray
lazy?
has done more in this league than Sam Darnold up to this year.
That's a fair point.
Up to this year, Kyler Murray's been a Pro Bowl type of dude. I believe he's gone to the playoffs once or twice. Yeah, we don't really agree with his play style or his attitude, but he showed more.
509 in terms of developers. Why? They say, because it's Seattle and the team played ahead of schedule. They're ahead of schedule. They didn't get lucky, but they're ahead of schedule.
They're definitely
so people
ahead of
weren't
schedule.
counting on them.
Definitely. I was hoping for a playoff run next year, not this year.
They overlooked the process, says the 509. They didn't know what it was or didn't believe it would work. Only a few big stars, but they overlooked the importance of a strong process.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's the thing people don't really have an idea of unless you're connected to this team is the everyday, the process, the environment, the effort that goes on. All you get is Sundays. And we're lucky enough to be closer to the team to where we can ask people who are close. We're at training camp. We're at these OTAs and just around the team. I think everyone felt something different for sure.
Yeah.
And that's like the first step is, all right, we feel something different than the last 7 years with this team. It starts there, and then you ask the right people, man. I'm fortunate enough that if I really need a question answered about this team, I can hit up the right person who is either in the mix or right next to the mix looking at it.
Joseph in the 253, most of the season the Rams were ahead of us. Why pick the second best NFC team? But this is what I want to push back on, Joseph. When the Seattle Seahawks pulled ahead of the Rams, people were still betting on the Rams. It's not that the Seahawks didn't convince people. Me and Bump both talked about how we were more convinced on Thursday night, and not until Thursday night were we more convinced. But there were still people looking at a second-place Rams team, heck, by the NFC Championship game, looking at a Rams team that had barely pushed past the Bears and the Panthers going, they're just better. So why? What is it that our brains do? That's what I want to figure out. Why? It's not just about going with the, they were in second place, but then they weren't. But then they went in first place with that game. It didn't look back.
Yeah, because I think football is tricky, man. You only got 17 games. You're not going to play division opponents twice. And I think in football more than other sports, because it's not a very long season, but you have weeks and injuries and stuff, a team in week 4 can look completely different in week 7, week 8. It can happen that quickly.
Yep.
And I think that's what teams were banking on, or people were banking on, is that, all right, well, they got them this time, but they're still better at quarterback. They're still better at receiver, talking about the Rams. They still have a better head coach. You know, like, you have to beat them 2 out of 3 times. And even then, people still doubt a little bit. Because of why? Because of resume, because of star power, and all that good stuff. But I think that the Hawks have done a great job changing the way that people view them and setting expectations for everyone else. They already have their own expectations, but setting it up for everybody else.
Someone says the 425, Curtis can tell him why.
Oh, you know why.
I know where you're going.
It's because classic East Coast bias, that's why.
Classic East Coast bias. 206, Darnold's ghost. You know what? I accept that as an answer, Bump.
Yep. Yeah.
I accept as an answer that one time Sam Darnold was mic'd up saying, I'm seeing ghosts out there. It became gifable, memeable, and followed him everywhere.
And who did he play for?
When he was with the Jets.
Exactly.
And 4 other teams, including Seattle. That's actually, you know what? I'll accept that as an answer. And the reason is that an analyst is not going to want to sit down and go, oh, so several years ago, Sam Darnold was mic'd up saying this thing, and I haven't been able to get it out of my brain. That's a big part of the reason.
Yeah.
I like that answer.
Yeah, I like it. It's you attach things to people, you know. Like I attach random sweaters or sweatshirts to you from places you've never been before.
Okay.
So
again,
it doesn't surprise me.
Why am I catching strays for having some fun?
You know why? Because last week or a couple weeks ago, I was catching strays like a mug. Remember that? I was just throwing them at me. So
did you clap when the plane landed?
I did not. See, there you go. It wasn't appropriate. Everyone was asleep. They were sleeping.
What time did you fly out?
Like I landed last night at like 10:30. Ain't no way I'm clapping. Trust me, I have plenty of other opportunities.
When's your next flight? When are you next?
I think I'm going to
town?
Cali like in 2 or 3 weeks.
Are you traveling by yourself?
Yeah.
Okay, you know what you have to do.
I'm doing it.
The people are calling for it, Bump. You're supposed to clap when the plane lands.
I know, but little Barbara sitting next to me, I would have woken her up. She would have been scared. Like, I didn't want to do that.
Little Barbara. It's a Reaction Monday powered by the Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. Let's get to headline rewrites.
Extra, extra, real
Headline rewrites.
We must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news.
Powered by Bay Alarm Security Services.
With Bump and Stacy.
Headline number 1, the Seahawks and Rams are tied as the betting favorites for Super Bowl 61. What's the real headline?
Beating the best team twice makes you tied for best, I guess.
Yeah, that's I get it, man. You know,
I do.
I ain't gonna cry. The Rams are good.
They're really
a good football
really good.
team. And your pride wants to be like, no, we beat them twice. Yeah, the numbers were super close, though. You know, all 3 games. So I understand it. It'd be nice for us to have a notch over them. But, yeah, I respect them. That's the thing. I respect them. I don't like them, but I respect them.
Yeah.
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 2, Lindsey Vonn suffered a tibia fracture just days after tearing her ACL. What's the real headline?
I think I speak for all of us when I say, ouch.
Yeah, Lindsey, she's a different breed, man. World-class talent is different. I was around world-class talent when I was in college. Joshua Anderson, he was a hurdler, 400-meter hurdler, won NCAA title twice, barely missed it in London. And their mental is just different. Their mental is different. Their physical is different. Their ambition is different. And that's Lindsey, man. In her 40s, still getting after it. Went out there with her ACL was gone. It was somewhere else.
Completely
it was gone.
disappeared.
She left it somewhere else. And went out there and still tried to compete. And then broke a bone, man. Big ups to Lindsey. Hey, hang them up, though, sis. Hang them up. I'm sure you got other businesses that you're working on.
Yeah.
I just don't want to see you in pain anymore.
Those are the things that remind me, first of all, bring back Joes versus Pros. Secondly, these are the moments that remind me that being a professional athlete, competing at the highest level and succeeding at the highest level requires a mindset that I simply do not possess. And I am not alone in not possessing that mindset. Sometimes I'll sit down when I'm cleaning house just for a little snack break. You know what I mean? Like sometimes I'm like, oh my God, like when I drive out to see my parents, it's sometimes a 3.5 or 4 hour drive. I'll get there and be like, I just need a nap. I've been sitting down for 3 hours. I need to lay down now. Switch it up. It's so exhausting. Like, it's just, I'm a quitter, man.
I'm a quitter.
I am. I love naps. I'm a creature of comfort. And this type of mindset is always so impressive to me. It's also what I think about a lot when I think of college athletes that are exposed to the harshest critiques, making a mistake in a national title game, having everyone pan you and doubt you and then analyze you when you get ready for the draft and then just put that in the back of your mind and don't think about it. It's just, those are the things that you don't see always play out on the field that maybe you see more up close when you cover a team. You know, you interview a player 2 days after, or like we'll sit down with Anthony Bradford and it'll be like after weeks and weeks and weeks of people being like, hey, you're struggling. And he is struggling. So he has nothing to say. And it's just, I'm so impressed by that type of mentality.
Yeah, they're a different breed, man.
Different breed.
Headline
Shout out
Reruns.
to people who nap, though. You know, we're important to society, too, I always say. You know, less cars on the road.
Less cars on the road.
Less carbon emissions.
Yeah. I just spend all day shopping online. I'm fueling the economy. I'm actually arguably most important.
You're the driving force of this economy.
I think so.
Headline number 3, the Mariners World Baseball Classic participants have begun spring training workouts in Peoria. What's the real headline?
A great Seattle sports year keeps getting better. Look at that, 44 days away from the start of the season.
Yeah, that seems it's unfamiliar territory for me when it comes to being on the air and covering both of these squads. But I prefer to be here every year or as many times as possible. So let's keep that rolling. It should be fun out there, man. And it's different going into this season with this team, too. It's like they've given us expectations as well, right? You're so close to going to the World Series. You made a move to get Donovan, so there's something new for us to look at and see how that pans out. You're going to see Cole Henderson at some point. No, it's a different feel for this team, but I think as long as the pillars are there, these guys are going to have a chance, and we still got those.
Let's see. I don't think Bump should have to pay off his bet until Stacy jumps in Lake Union to pay off her bet.
Boom.
I don't know.
Boom.
I think Bump's bet is easier to pay off. What would you rather do? Jump in Lake Union?
It's way easier.
It's February 10th.
But you made the bet.
I didn't know. You guys misunderstood the bet. You misunderstood the bet.
No.
The bet was that the Seahawks, and there was no world where the Seahawks would draft Jalen Carter. And the thing is, Jalen Carter was available, but they didn't draft him.
So that is exactly what you said would not happen.
I don't know.
You know what? Well, what else we bet on and I didn't get a pay yet? Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay,
another one.
That one I can pay
That's
up.
another one.
That one, I'll bring in donuts on, we'll have maybe a Friday. Tomorrow we're at the parade. So donuts Friday on me, you guys. On me.
Great.
Yeah, no problem. That is paying up on a bet that was settled
Long
week
time
8.
ago.
Week 7, week 8. You know what? That game that they ended up having the Giants against the Cowboys, I was like, what if I do win?
Right.
What if,
Felt it.
like, the Giants
Felt
aren't going
some
to
hope.
touch the playoffs, but what if Russell Wilson every week throws for 280 yards and 2 interceptions?
Mm-hmm.
I'll still win the bet. I had hope. I had a lot of hope.
It wasn't going down.
It really was not.
You just support Russell Wilson, which is fine.
Okay, I'll pay up on the donut bet, and then you can pay up on clapping when the plane lands.
Yeah.
Maybe book a flight that lands at like a noon.
Well, usually I leave. No, if I leave on my typical flight, like I leave at like at 3:30 or 3:40 or something like that, I'll be good.
Someone said, why are you not talking about Cardi B and Diggs? It's taking every ounce of strength I have not to spend the entirety of the rest of this segment telling you guys what's going on.
Hey, it's crazy how just rich people just be having babies with people and just move on like it's just nothing. Like, all right.
Because they're
done.
rich.
Yeah, like, usually there's like some financial attachment. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know if I can leave.
Nope.
Rich people like, yeah, we good, dog. We got babysitters, nannies.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. I'll
we
fly
have
them to
5
you.
nannies. It's okay.
Yeah, I'm good.
It's crazy, man. Rich people. It's just, I sometimes wonder celebrities they're in their 30s, but sometimes it'll be like, celebrities having babies, and I'm like, they just don't have the same anxiety attached to when you're starting a family. You have to think about your family. It doesn't matter. They can go to an award show.
Yeah.
Nothing changes with your
Nothing.
life.
I can do whatever I want to.
Crazy.
Right.
Absolutely crazy.
Leave my kid for a week.
Yeah. Someone said Lindsey Vonn is selfish for competing. Oh. They're implying, like, she took someone else's spot that could have qualified. She should have pulled her name from it.
Nah. She's the greatest downhill skier in this country's history.
Yeah.
You do what you want to do. If Tiger want to go out there and compete in the Olympics on one leg, knowing he ain't going to compete, go ahead and do that.
I think you guys need to give Stacy a little credit, says the 206. Thank you. I just walked into our finance department and was informed I'm being reimbursed for a receipt I turned in 2 years ago. Okay, well, that feels... But I wish I wouldn't have read that. I take it back. Someone said, Bump, do you get a ring?
I don't know. My
What did
boy
you do?
JB for the Rams hit me up. He's their play-by-play guy. He goes, congrats. You're going to love the ring. And I was like, I don't know if I get one, JB. He was like, it's ridiculous. He goes, we all get one. He's got one, so maybe.
You have to wear it. What do you mean no?
I'd wear it for one segment and then put in.
Wear what?
Yeah.
Wear it for the whole show.
Nah.
I think the support staff and like broadcasters, their rings aren't as iced out as the players.
They look like them, but they're not the same metal.
Yeah.
A little cubic zirconia action.
Why are you trying to poop on my ring in front of all my friends right now?
Why are you trying to, Curtis?
Can I let me just have this?
Yeah.
I don't want you getting mugged on the way out of our studios today.
Don't want a 49ers situation you want to avoid.
Yeah, you don't want to wear hundreds of thousands of dollars on your person.
What's the biggest Seahawks offseason storyline? You might be surprised by the answer. That's next on your home for the Super Bowl champion Seahawks, Seattle Sports, and the Seattle Sports app.
Seahawks head coach Mike Macdonald's first interview since winning the Super Bowl. Only on the Mike Macdonald Show with Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
What have the last 44 hours been like? I don't know. Best 44 hours ever. Be able to share that moment with the trophy with all the people that you like, all your loved ones. Kind of like your wedding, but like with the Lombardi. You know.
Get the full conversation now on the Seattle Sports app from the home of your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
We're champs. I know everyone's looking forward to having a long holiday weekend to unwind and celebrate. No better place than Silver Reef. They got deluxe rooms, a full-service spa, and enough restaurants to try something new every meal of the weekend. My favorite is the Cantina, the authentic Mexican cooking passed down through generations. Pop in for lunch or for dinner. Even a quick 9 or rain session at Loomis Trails Golf Course, if the weather allows it, of course. If you're in the mood for entertainment, Netflix and Amazon Prime starts Three Sisters Comedy's Takeover in the Event Center Saturday, February 28th. Get your tickets ahead of time for a fresh, fearless, and hilarious take on life, family, identity, and everything in between that will have you laughing out loud all night. Silver Reef Casino Resort. Head north on 5, get off exit 260. I love it up there. You're missing out if you've never been. If you have been there, then you get your behind back this weekend. It's going to be great, man. Book your stay at silverreefcasino.com.
It's the Super Smart Top Special at Olympic. Save on a new hot top and get a free Smart Top cover worth $3,700. Super Smart Top special savings will make you feel, well, super. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
We've all been there. Sleepless nights, wondering if your business's security service is really protecting what matters. At Bay Alarm, we can put your security insecurities to bed. Our advanced technology and personalized support ensure you can rest easy knowing we're here for you. BayAlarm.com.
Imagine finding your dream home and moving in right away. No waiting to sell your old place first. Sounds perfect, right? That's exactly what Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program lets you do. Buy your new home now and sell the old one later. Here's how it works. Orchard gives you cash so you can buy and move into your new home first on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then the Orchard experts take it from there. They handle repairs on your old home for you so you attract the right buyers. Once they're done, a local Orchard agent lists and sells your home for top dollar. Orchard's Move First program gives you the freedom to buy and move into your new home first and sell your old home later. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Ready to find out how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home valuation. That's Orchard.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. With other language learning apps, I was just playing games. I wasn't really learning. Babbel's different.
Babbel was designed by over 200 language learning experts to be the most effective way to learn another language.
Every time I open the app, I can choose to work on my writing, speaking, or listening. And it saves my mistakes for me to review, so I'm constantly improving. Before Babbel, I thought I just wasn't good with languages. But now I'm speaking French. Tout ça, c'est grâce à Babbel.
Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
The celebration continues.
We never wavered, man. We believed in each other. We loved each other.
On the home of your Super Bowl champion Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Seattle Sports Championship Parade coverage is provided by Harborstone Credit Union. It's a good day to be a football fan and a Harborstone Credit Union member. They've been voted the best credit union and best place to work. They're in the top 1% of credit unions for products and services in Washington State, and they've got a best-in-class mobile app. Harborstone Credit Union delivers real support to help people thrive. With over 30 branches from Olympia to Bellingham, find one near you. Go to harborstone.com.
The Seattle Seahawks are Super Bowl 60 champions. And now Wilson, the official football of the NFL, has released the limited edition Super Bowl 60 champions Duke Game Ball, exclusively available at BigTimeBats.com. This authentic 4-panel leather football features the Seahawks logo, bold Super Bowl champions lettering, the final score and date of the game, and the official Super Bowl 60 logo. Officially licensed, limited edition. Visit BigTimeBats.com and get the Seahawks Super Bowl 60 champions Duke Game Ball before they sell out.
P&D Tree Service, experts in local tree removal. Their team works fast to remove problem trees in your yard and neighborhood. Have you ever seen a tree removed by a crane? P&D Tree Services specializes in close-quarter tree removal to minimize impact on your landscaping. 24-hour emergency service. Any job, big or small. Safe, efficient, and fast. P&D Tree Service turns multi-day jobs into a few hours, saving you time and money. Enjoy a clean, safe, and bright yard. PNDTreeService.com.
Get your championship gear at Simply Seattle, your go-to shop for Seahawks gear with both licensed and custom designs you won't find anywhere else. Use code ESPN15 for 15% off your order at simplyseattle.com. Celebrate the title with jerseys, shirts, hoodies, hats, and collectibles. Want your gear in time for the parade? Shop in person at Simply Seattle on First Ave. And get ready for spring training with Mariners gear and Simply Originals like the Kid Logo hoodie. Code ESPN15 at simplyseattle.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Taking a look around the NFL, and let's start with the final team standing in the NFL, the Seahawks. What's the biggest Seahawks offseason storyline? ESPN's Adam Schefter said he's very interested in how Seattle will pay a pair of their young stars.
We saw the type of year that Jackson, Smith, and Jigba had.
Offensive Player of the Year.
He's going to want to be paid like the Offensive Player of the Year. We saw the type of year that Devon Witherspoon had. He also is contract eligible for the first time. So if we make Jackson, Smith, and Jigba the latest $40 million a year wide receiver, and if we make Devon Witherspoon one of the top paid cornerbacks in the game, all of a sudden it gets harder to assemble the type of roster that can compete for championships on an annual basis.
He's not wrong. Witherspoon having a phenomenal game, JSN having an amazing season, takes a massive chunk, even if it's spread over years, out of the fifth most cap space you've got right now.
The thing that makes me believe they could pay guys and still put together a good team, you just look at the backups that played last year and contributed. They know how to find their type of guys for the low, but it does put a stress on this team, man, the financial side of this whole thing. Because you cannot expect Jason to take nothing less than being the top paid receiver in the game. You cannot take asked Devon Witherspoon to not be paid like he's one of the best DBs in the game. It's the price of doing business. If anyone can pull it off and still keep this team together and keep a good team out there, it's these guys, though.
Well, and that becomes a problem when you don't have answers elsewhere, right? You look at the Bengals paying T. Higgins and Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow that much money, which is great because they're an amazing trio when they're all healthy and on. But then what suffered is your defense. Well, also, they've been horrible with drafting. The Seahawks have good pieces. They also have pieces that weren't healthy last year that are now coming back. What's a full season of Riley Mills look like? What's a full season of Torrey Horton and Elijah Arroyo look like on offense? So you could have some answers that are under contract on rookie deals that you just aren't, not you, the general you isn't focused on right now as part of the recipe.
You didn't hear? I'm the assistant general manager of the Seattle Seahawks.
Congratulations.
Yeah. So
that's very exciting.
I'll let you know what's going on.
ESPN's Ryan Clark isn't ready to crown Sam Darnold among even the NFC's best quarterbacks.
In the NFC, how many quarterbacks I take? I take 8. I take Stafford, Hurts, Purdy, Mayfield, Love, Goff. They all win a Super Bowl with this Seattle Seahawks team right now. I take Williams. I take Daniels. Williams and Daniels, more upside than Sam Darnold. They showed more in this league in the first 2 years of their career. All of these quarterbacks, listen, look, put the camera on me. All 8 of these quarterbacks, if the starting quarterback for the Seattle Seahawks, they win the Super Bowl. And most of these quarterbacks, if they're the starting quarterback for the Seattle Seahawks, they beat the New England Patriots worse than they won with Sam Darnold. Now, I get it. Sam Darnold, I believe in him. He's a Pro Bowl caliber quarterback. He's a Pro Bowl quarterback. The last 2 years have been phenomenal. This is not a knock on Sam Darnold. This is, if I'm drafting these quarterbacks in the NFC, I take all of them before I take him.
Bump, can I say something? I love Ryan Clark. You know I love Ryan Clark. You love Ryan Clark. I feel like Ryan Clark is jumping into the middle of a debate that no one's having.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. That's straight up.
I don't know a single Seahawks fan that's sitting here like last year's Eagles fans going, now put Jalen's name in the top 10.
Yeah.
I don't know a single fan going, and I told you Sam was the best quarterback in the NFC. No one's fighting.
No one's saying anything, dog.
Bro.
Like, relax. Like,
chill.
Talent-wise, he's the 4th best quarterback in this division, talent-wise.
No one's saying
I'll take him over Kyler Murray at this point. So there's 2 better than him in the NFC West. NFC South, I'll take him over Baker. I'll take him over Young. I'll take him over Penix. South has nothing.
Yeah.
The North, you got Caleb. You got Love. You got Goff. Okay, so that's 5 right there. The East, you have Hurts. You have Dak, yes. Jaden Daniels, yes. So maybe like 6, 7.
Also, like, here's the thing, Ryan, and this is what any Seahawks fan would tell you right now. What NFC team would you take? Because that's the whole conversation. That's the entire thing that Seahawks fans have been saying all year long is like, wow, this is such a well-balanced team. It's a complete team, maybe the most complete team we've seen here. Amazing head coach, coaching staff, everything. What team collectively would you take over the Seahawks right now? Feels like a much smaller list.
You know what this is like? Like when you're talking to me really loud in the sports pit, and I'm like, why are you yelling?
Oh, yeah.
Like why
My
are you yelling?
sister told me that I'm a loud talker. I have very bad hearing.
Yeah, that's Ryan Clark. I'm like, why are you yelling? Like, no one even try. Stop
You think I
yelling,
yell
dog.
talk?
Sometimes, yeah.
I mean,
not yell
you
talk.
never
It's
tell me in person.
Very loud sometimes.
Yeah,
it's very strong.
I think my sister did that one time. We were at Subway, and I was like yelling my order. She was like, "Why are you yelling your order? That's so aggressive." And I was like, Sometimes I talk loud because I can't.
We're not
hear.
in public, so I just it's like whatever.
When I was in elementary school, they were testing me to see if I needed hearing impairment devices.
Really?
Yeah. But then I didn't get them. Look at me now. My volume's the loudest. I'm moving on. Dan Orlovsky also jumped right into this conversation, but had a very different take.
The only quarterback right now, that I would take over him is Stafford. Right now.
Oh. That's it?
What else does Sam Darnold have to do? He's 31-7 in the last 2 years. Look at what happened to Minnesota without him. If we don't look at anything Sam Darnold accomplishes and we just look at what happened to Minnesota as Sam has left, they've fallen apart.
I actually like Dan's argument.
You know what? I don't agree with Dan often, but when I do,
he's cooking.
He's got me. And that's the thing is, I think Ryan Clark is looking at talent.
Yes.
Right? Whereas Orlovsky's looking at the quarterback position, leadership, composure, especially what he's done the last 2 years. They're having a different argument. They're both looking at the number 6. One's calling it a 9, one's calling it a 6. It's just, but I get both arguments. Talent-wise, yes, Ryan. Quarterback-wise, yes, Dan. Y'all both right.
Yeah, and again, I think that Ryan's jumping into the conversation that, like, as sports media, and sometimes it's lazy, but it's still fun. I have these conversations. We just jump into right away. Okay, where's your rank? You know what I mean? We're getting into list season right now in the NFL.
Yes,
list season,
time.
it's that time of year. It's a wonderful season. It's list season where we make our top 5, top 10, best quarterback, best head coach. Who has this? Who's better than that? It's natural. It's just where we go as consumers of the NFL, as media in the NFL. It's just what it is. And like it or not, it's the debates that we all get into with our friends at the bar top, right? You call them bar top conversations. That's this, you know? It's the same thing people say about 2013. You know, could another quarterback have won with that team? Sure. But, like, that's not the thing that anyone's pushing with Darnold right now. Not a single person is out here going, like, and now put some respect on Darnold's name in terms of making him the best quarterback in the NFL. I don't think Darnold cares. I don't think anyone cares.
No, it's more just stop doubting him as much as you do.
Yeah. The Patriots held their exit interviews today. Drake May said his injured shoulder was not the reason for his poor performance in the Super Bowl.
I mean, I feel like my arm was doing great all year. I don't think throwing really was the instance for my arm. I think it's, a case of having one hit in the NFC Championship game that was just kind of unfortunate timing. And, the 2 weeks was great to have off, to have a chance to be out there for my guys. And, yeah, I mean, you can't, blame things on injuries. Things happen like this all the time in the league. Was blessed this year. What a year of health and blessings for me this year. You can't, stone it on one little thing on the shoulder. So it's just unfortunate. It happened to be throwing one, but at the same time, I could have prevented it or, made more plays. I was feeling like I was able to make throws in the game and was myself. So nothing that, I have anything really just myself to say about that.
He was also asked about left tackle Will Campbell's brutal night.
It's a pleasure going out there with Will. I know it's probably been a long year for the rookies, a long year for Will, a long year for these guys to get adapted to playing in the NFL. And I think Will is, a great case of, somebody who's experienced it all, experienced, the ups and downs, injury side of it, the long times we gotta, you don't want to talk to the media, but you have to, or the expectations of a first-round pick. I think he's dealt with so much this year. It's only going to be great for him in the future. He's going to be a great player in this league. He already is a great player in this league, and I look forward to getting back in, see him in the offseason, hanging out with him, and getting back in the OCAs. I love Will, and I look forward to playing with him for a long time.
Look, I don't know if the Patriots are going to be in the Super Bowl next year. I have no idea, but I think they're absolutely on the uptick. I don't think that it was like massively ahead of schedule. They're a good team with a good quarterback.
Yeah. And I like Drake not making excuses too, man. Like, it is what it is. Everyone's banged up at this point. I can still make my throws. He need to be looking at that front office and saying, all right, get me an offensive line. Because if this is the standard with those Seahawks over there, it could get real ugly here in the following years.
So you can still hear me when I talk at this volume?
No, I like you better when you speak normally.
Right now.
No, dude, do your regular stuff.
The Seahawks, wow, it is loud. The Seahawks could have an interesting decision to make at quarterback. That's next on your home for the Super Bowl champion Seahawks, Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
This is what it's all about, right?
The Seahawks win Super Bowl 60.
The pure joy.
To beat the Patriots, especially in the 49ers stadium, it means everything.
It's a great time to be alive for Seattle fans.
It's why we're 12s.
Just like Mike McDonald said, we did not care.
We got a parade to get to.
And the Seahawks Super Bowl parade is Wednesday.
We are the home of your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest.
Seattle Sports.
Here's what you can look forward to when you get your windows replaced. The whole house being way warmer and a lot quieter. Dave Wyman here, and when we had finally had it with our old windows with broken seals, we called Harley Exteriors. They were incredibly friendly, professional, and absolutely knew their stuff. Harley Exteriors windows are a massive upgrade. They keep heat in and noise out, plus they're truly gorgeous windows. I said, you guys must use a different type of glass, and sure enough, it's their Olympic Series, which is manufactured here in the Pacific Northwest and exclusive to Harley Exteriors. Harley Exteriors has a special offer for Seattle sports fans. Buy one window and get the second 40% off. No payments or interest until 2027, and take an additional $200 off your project. Call 833-HARLEY or go to harleyexteriors.com. Schedule your free consultation today. That's harleyexteriors.com.
That's another amazing run by Team USA.
Mom, think I'll be on Team USA one day?
Well,
I'll take this one.
what? Are you speaking to us?
Yes, and to answer your question, anything's possible, especially with Xfinity.
So, I can be the best snowboarder ever?
Well, I can't guarantee that, but Xfinity can guarantee that your internet price won't change for 5 years.
Okay. What if I practice every day?
Then maybe you'll be snowboarding for Team USA at the next Olympic Winter Games. And Mom, you'll still be paying the same price for Wi-Fi.
Ooh, really stuck the landing there.
It's the Xfinity Gold Medal Celebration. Now through February 22nd, get our best price on gig Wi-Fi for 5 years guaranteed, just $50 a month. Plus, get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. That's a $10.99 value per month. Xfinity. Imagine that. Proud partner of Team USA. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Actual speeds vary.
If society collapsed tomorrow, how long would your family last? If you run out of food, probably not very long. That's why over 3 million American families trust My Patriots Supply for preparedness. Right now, you can get their best-selling 3-month food kit for $100 off. It's 3 months worth of real, hearty meals that give you 2,000 calories a day and last up to 25 years. Go to MyPatriotSupply.com to get your 3-month kit for $100 off. The discount won't last long, so go to MyPatriotSupply.com today. That's MyPatriotSupply.com.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
The Seattle Seahawks are Super Bowl 60 champions. And now Wilson, the official football of the NFL, has released the limited edition Super Bowl 60 champions Duke Game Ball, exclusively available at BigTimeBats.com. This authentic 4-panel leather football features the Seahawks logo, bold Super Bowl champions lettering, the final score and date of the game, and the official Super Bowl 60 logo. Officially licensed, limited edition. Visit BigTimeBats.com and get the Seahawks Super Bowl 60 champions Duke Game Ball before they sell out.
Home of your Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks.
They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest.
Seattle Sports.
Yay to Bruce, the streaming king.
With quantum fiber internet, he's gonna binge.
He wants more, he's got to have more.
More bedtime to ride.
More podcasts in the shower.
Quantum fiber Wi-Fi has the power. More.
Fast internet speeds. He's got the gigs to go big. Bring him the games.
Right now.
And his royal we.
More sports non-stop. His quantum fiber's on top. Ready to use.
Switch today at quantumfiber.com. Limited availability, service, and speed in select locations only.
Good Dog Auto Glass. When the stakes are high, you want the best on your team. When your windshield breaks, don't settle for your insurance company's fix that's just safe enough. Trust Good Dog Auto Glass, where the quality isn't light. We do all the things the little guys don't, and we do all the things the big guy does.
We answer the phone when you call, we work for you, and we will walk you through the insurance process. Visit GoodDogAutoGlass.com, Puget Sound's most trusted auto glass company, and get more bang for your bark.
With other language learning apps, I was just playing games. I wasn't really learning. Babbel's different.
Babbel was designed by over 200 language learning experts to be the most effective way to learn another language.
Every time I open the app, I can choose to work on my writing, speaking, or listening. And it saves my mistakes for me to review, so I'm constantly improving. Before Babbel, I thought I just wasn't good with languages. But now I'm speaking French. Tout ça, c'est grâce à Babbel.
Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. BABBEL.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. You know, the big wireless companies say they have discounts for people over 55. But unless you're willing to sit on hold and ask, you're probably paying more than you should. At Consumer Cellular, there's nothing to hunt down. We're built for people 50 plus with plans starting at just $20. And our 100% US-based customer service actually answers the phone. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today and get your second month free for a limited time.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
The Seahawks have an intriguing new option with quarterback, and I'm not talking about doing something with Sam Darnold's contract. I'm talking about whether or not they should trade Jalen Milroe. Now, don't get mad at me. ESPN's Benjamin Solak has a column on this up at ESPN.com. He lists Jalen Milroe as an option for quarterback-needy teams, writing, the Seahawks hedged their bets on Darnold with a round 3 selection with Milroe, who now starts down the path that Willis was on in Tennessee. Milroe's only QB3 in Seattle behind Darnold and Drew Lock, but he's started above Ty Simpson at Bama in 2024. Teams will likely compare their pre-draft grades on Milroe to the grades in this year's class, and if they can get Milroe at a discount, they could try to trade for him instead of drafting an inferior prospect. Now, if I were to say, Bump, how do you feel about trading Jalen Milroe? What would make you hesitant?
Nothing.
Really?
Nothing.
Not even like the potential, the talent, the...
No. I think that with all the contracts that are coming up or free agents that are coming up that you got to pay, you're going to need some replacements. You're going to need some replenishment, and I think he would be the perfect one for that. If they didn't win the Super Bowl this year and we saw a different player from Sam Darnold, then maybe I'd feel different about it. But because they've won, I'm like, all right, we'll lock up Drew Lock for another year. Mm-hmm. You have Sam Darnold and go in and get some pieces for Jalen Milroe. I would have loved to have seen Milroe get a chance here if Sam Darnold didn't play the way that he played last year. So, no, I wouldn't hesitate at all. I think that's one of the first things I'm doing is saying, who needs a quarterback, especially with the draft class that's coming out this year. There's not a whole lot of talent. Now, obviously, these guys can play, but we're talking about like this top-tier projection. There's not a lot. And there are some teams that might be looking for a quarterback or two. So, yeah, I'd explore it easily.
Now, Ben has this in his super deep indie cuts section of the article. So this isn't something where like teams are going to call Seattle first things first to look at potential trade options, because don't forget, Kyler Murray going to be available via trade, presumably. Tua Tagovailoa going to be available via trade. And those are two guys that have a lot more experience than Jalen. You also have to look at Malik Willis being a target. So for anyone who was hoping like, oh, maybe you can get like a second. No, I don't think so. I don't think. There's some other guys that are going to command that kind of return. He thinks that Jalen falls under the category of like Houston Texans Davis Mills, who was great in relief of Stroud, but, could probably use a different landing spot. Tanner McKee, Will Levis, Anthony Richardson, he also throws into this category. Spencer Rattler, maybe Derek Carr. So those are the guys he's looking at where it's like, you are not getting a bucket load of picks or some great return with this. This is roster reshuffling for a team that's very quarterback needy. And it's a good spot to be in. Seattle's not that team right now.
No, you're not. And you have a quarterback that, last time we saw him, he fumbled the rock, right? It was that run he was doing. But
yeah, 20 years ago was the last time we saw him in a game. It's crazy.
But this is a guy who is still a mystery to the league, right? If he had gone out there and played in 5 or 6 games and had some more film out there, I think it would hurt their negotiation because people would feel like they understand who he is and what he's worth. Whereas now, they don't understand who he is and what he's worth, and they can kind of ship him out there a bit. It's unfortunate because I like Jalen Milroe, and I was excited when they picked him up because of the quarterback situation. But things change, man. You got to blame the team for winning. Because if they didn't, he'd probably still be here. Well, he's still here. You never know.
From the 425 Bum, tell me what you think about this. Hey, I know that Milroe gets you draft picks or maybe even a player, but why not let Drew Lock go and then keep Milroe?
Because I feel like you can get more from Milroe. Because you're trying to rebuild this team, right? I went over the pieces that are free agents. Rashid, Josh Jones, Boye Mafe, Kenneth Walker, Kobe Bryant, Tariq Woolen, Derek Young. Most of these guys ain't going to be back. So how do you build this team outside of the draft is you take one of your assets, and you try to ship them out there. That's why. If these guys were under contract, then I'd roll with that and say, all right, we'll keep Milroe. We'll see what happens with Drew Lock and let's roll that way. But you just got to start thinking about the future and what can possibly not be here.
Well, and speaking about thinking of the future versus short term, I think by virtue of winning a Super Bowl, the Seahawks have to have some short term priorities, right? Yes, you want to make sure that you don't, get your team into financial hell by trying to win now, but you also have to be aware of who helps you win the most right now. If Sam Darnold let's reverse. Maybe it makes more sense than looking at next year. If Sam Darnold were to get hurt in Week 10, who do you have more faith in? Drew Lock, who has not only started games for multiple NFL teams, but who has started games for Seattle, or Jalen Milroe, who's a rookie, who was in for like a cool play one time. You're trusting Drew Lock. When the expectation, and it is going into 2026, that you win a Super Bowl, you need someone who gives you the best shot to win right now.
Yeah.
And that option for you right now is Drew. You don't have time to develop Jalen. You don't have time for Jalen to, struggle and learn to develop and figure out what you have there. If you can hang on to him just because he's talented, great. But if you're picking a quarterback to start a game if Sam's hurt today, it's Drew.
You know who Jalen is Harry Ford. He's blocked. Like, he is blocked because this team going into next year, Super Bowl favorites, playoff potential, competing for the division. If something were to happen to Sam, you got to go with something that gives you the best chance to win right now. And that's hardly a guy who hasn't played many snaps in the NFL. That's why these backup quarterbacks are so important.
Washington's biggest night out for sports is almost here, the 91st Annual Sports Star of the Year Awards. The star-studded event brings together the athletes and icons behind our favorite teams and unforgettable moments. Be part of history and cast your vote for the men's and women's sports story of the year. Voting is open now through February 14th. Men's and women's sports stars, and then you can also vote for sports story of the year. Voting is open now through February 14th. Head to seattlesports.org and make your voice heard. The winners will be announced live at the 91st Annual Sports Star of the Year Awards presented by Microsoft on Friday, March 13th. Don't miss out. Vote now and be part of the celebration. We got a lot of questions about what's next for the Seattle Seahawks, so let's ask him of ESPN's Brady Henderson. He joins us next on your home for the Super Bowl champion Seahawks, Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
That's a butt whooping, Brock. Brock and Salk. That's a blowout win. Morning 6 to 10.
Belt to booty. We're going booty now?
Belt to something, man. That's for sure.
They did it, dude. You said it. You said it as loud. I was a little nervous.
Blowout.
This team can't play with the Seahawks.
No.
Honestly, just physically. It was just an absolute mismatch.
On the home of your Super Bowl champion Seahawks, Seattle Sports, the app, YouTube, and your smart speaker.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
Matt Coker here with West Coast Men's Health. In the past 5 years, we've seen thousands of men at our clinics. Most guys tell us the same story, that in their early 50s, it's not that they couldn't function, they just needed help. They started taking Viagra, and it worked great at first. But after a few years, it stopped working. The problem is that their arteries had become more restricted since they started taking it, because Viagra does not unclog arteries. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we use acoustic wave therapy to target the real problem. We break down plaque and clear up the arteries so blood can flow like it did in your 20s. This restores function. And guys, listen to this. You won't have to take a pill anymore. So if this sounds like you, give West Coast Men's Health a call today and see how we can help.
With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. That's 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
I had pain, I had numbness in my feet. That pain and that numbness just got worse and worse and worse as time went on.
This is Greg describing life with neuropathy.
I went to 5 podiatrists, tried different treatments, tried different orthotics, tried different shoes, had cortisone shots in the tops and the bottoms of my feet. Saw a neurologist. All my medical doctors said, can't help you. Live with the pain. You're not going to be able to sleep. This is your life. And then I just gave up until I found Sound Pain Solutions.
I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. Our neuropathy treatments can rehabilitate damaged nerves. We use FDA-cleared, non-surgical, drug, and pain-free procedures that help neuropathy sufferers like Greg find relief.
I feel better. I mean, just feeling better is huge.
If you experience numbness, shooting or burning pains, or loss of balance, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025, or click soundpainsolutions.com.
Experience a luxury resort, breathtaking wildlife, spectacular wilderness, and amazing fishing at Queen Charlotte Lodge in northern British Columbia. King salmon runs are at their peak in May and June, and halibut and lingcod are always plentiful. Check out how easy it is to visit QCL at fishqcl.com. That's fishqcl.com. Queen Charlotte Lodge. Experience fishing first class. And remember, our dollar's worth $1.35 north of the border.
It took us 93 years to build this reputation, but it'll take just 5 minutes to ruin it. If you think about that, you'll do things differently.
Lee Johnson Auto Family.
I'm Bradley Johnson with 1-800-DUI-AWAY, and I want to talk to you about the importance of when you hire a lawyer. Some people delay, and that's a mistake. Here's why. When you go before the judge at your first appearance, bail is usually set.
Order in the court.
It may be the only chance you have to address that bail. You're going to want aggressive counsel, arguing for the lowest amount possible, or release with no bail at all. You want someone who knows you, a private lawyer who's going to fight. 1-800-DUI-AWAY. If your bail is set too high, you may be stuck in jail, or you may have to pay an expensive bail bondsman. When you're out, you need a trustworthy lawyer that can help put this whole ordeal behind you. Call 1-800-DUI-AWAY or go to 1-800-DUI-AWAY.com to schedule your free consultation for any criminal offense. You wouldn't go into surgery without a doctor.
Scalpel.
So don't go without 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
1-800-DUI-AWAY.
I'm sure by now you've heard interviews with a whole lot of people who took the First Mark Challenge and saved so much money on their insurance and got better coverage. We call them First Mark victories. Well, I too took the First Mark Challenge and am thrilled to say that First Mark is saving my family thousands. Now that's what I call a victory. Before we got married, my husband had been with the same agent for so long, I think we just assumed that they were working hard to get us the best coverage and save us money, but it wasn't the case. And we only knew that by taking the First Mark Challenge. First Mark works for you, not the insurance carriers. First Mark will fully analyze your current coverage, making sure you're not overpaying for the wrong coverage, which could leave you at risk for financial loss. Then they carefully search the market, dozens of major carriers to find you the best fit. And that's it. First Mark Insurance has helped thousands of families successfully manage the complicated world of insurance and save them thousands, my family included. Be the next First Mark Challenge victory. Take the First Mark Challenge now. It's free. Go to firstmarkinsurance.com. First Mark Insurance. They work for you.
Home of your Super Bowl champion Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest. This is the power of 12 is 1, man.
KIRO AM Seattle and KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Celebrate the Seahawks Super Bowl win tomorrow with the Victory Parade. The celebration starts at 11 a.m. on the corner of 4th Avenue and Washington Street. The parade stretches down 4th Avenue. Now, the parade starts at 11, but the team kicks things off at 10 a.m. inside Lumen Field for the trophy celebration and speeches. This is a ticketed event that's sold out, but you can still hear it live right here on Seattle Sports.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
This hour is brought to you by Mazda of Everett.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. ESPN's Brady Henderson joining us on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. Brady, crazy week for you. How's it going today?
Going fine. I'm just at the Seahawks facility right now in the media room. They just had their open locker room, so if I sound a little slow and not all that with it cognitively, it's because I think I've slept a total of about 6 hours over the last 2 nights, just working, staying up late working, getting up early for work and to catch flights and everything.
Yeah.
So here I am.
We can forgive you for it. I'm going to start with a question we've asked a couple guests so far. When did you know or feel, you have to be objective as a reporter, but when did you know or feel that this game was won for Seattle?
I'm not trying to sound like a know-it-all or cocky or anything. I knew that they were going to win this game. I don't know if my pick ended up making it on ESPN.com, but I picked 29-17. And anybody who asked me, what I thought about the game beforehand, I told them I think the Seahawks are going to win by, pretty easily by, a couple touchdowns, or, over 10 points, whatever it was. So, they were just a better team, really good coaching staff. And, the moment I started earlier this season, I started really thinking that, there was a very good chance they were going to go all the way was after that Rams game in Week 16, because I think we all knew they were a really good team by that point. And it was kind of clear that it was the Rams and the Seahawks in some order, and those were the two best teams. And then, so knowing that they still would have to get past the Rams in the playoffs, I just felt like, okay, very good team, very well-coached team. And after they pulled out that Rams game, it almost had this feeling to me of like, fate is on their side. I know that's not the most the best way to analyze football, but it almost felt like it was, like it was meant to be for them. And but they still had to get past the Rams in the championship game, and that was obviously a close game. And so, here we are.
What did you think of? Well, just what impressed you the most about this win when you look at just all three phases of the game for the Hawks?
Yeah, the defensive plan that Mike Macdonald had, and certainly he saw something that he felt like he could exploit in that Patriots, with that offense and that protection plan. And, we saw Devon Witherspoon blitz more than we have. And look, just knowing how good of a defensive line and playmakers all around the field, how many of those guys that the Seahawks have, and knowing that the Patriots have really struggled to keep Drake May upright in the playoffs. He'd been sacked 5 times in each of their 3 playoff games. And Will Campbell is a very talented guy, top 5 pick, but he did not have a great rookie season, and he really struggled in the playoffs. So I thought there was a real good chance for Seattle to get after New England up front. I don't know if I would have guessed 6 sacks, and I don't know if I would have guessed that Devon Witherspoon would have had, as big of a hand in that as he did. But clearly Mike Macdonald saw something, and, you saw a really talented team get the job done, but you also saw a brilliant defensive mind pick apart an offense. And by the way, that's no slouch at offensive coordinator. That's, right. Multi-time Super Bowl winning offensive coordinator Josh McDaniels, and Mike Macdonald really, he schooled him big time.
Witherspoon also talked about that tell. Have you been able to interview anyone else to see what it was?
I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I don't know. I don't have a great answer for you. I suspect it was less of like a tell and more about that was the plan going in. I don't know. It was. I really don't think that Witherspoon was seeing things on his own pre-snap and then freelancing because he got some tell. I think that was all part of the plan that Mike Macdonald had drawn out in the first place. And Witherspoon, you still got to execute it, and Witherspoon did that really well.
Hey, if you had to take a wild guess, is K9 a Seahawk or on a different team next year?
My best guess is, that he is a Seahawk. And if you had asked me this 6 months ago, Bump, I would have said no, or I don't know, however long ago, training camp was by this point. I don't even know what day it is anymore, let alone how long ago that was. But, I would have said, probably less than 20% at that point, just because, we all knew about the durability concerns and the fact that, how highly regarded Zach Charbonnet is. And, what's happened in the last 6 or 7 months, whatever it is that, Walker finally showed that he can be durable. And he played in 20 games this season, which is remarkable, having, not played a full season in any of his first 3 years. And not only that, he was hardly on the injury report all year. There was, I think, a week or two where he had like a glute thing, but didn't really keep him out. And it never kept him off the field. And then, I still think they would prefer to, not have him carry the ball 27 times in a game. But, he showed, at least in a small sample size, that he can hold up and handle that workload. And then the other obvious point here is that, Charbonnet, because of the timing and the nature of that injury, you're probably looking at kind of like a Riley Mills timeline for him, right, where he doesn't make it back onto the field until, probably November at the very earliest, but maybe even more realistically sometime in December. I think Mills first played mid-December or something like that, whatever it was. So between those two things, I think there's now a very, very good chance that Walker is back.
Hey, Brady, let's head back to the end of that game. Set the scene for us. You were in the locker room. What did it look like? What did it feel like? And what was maybe one of your favorite interviews you had with a player?
Well, I'll tell you what it smelled like, too. It smelled like cigar smoke. And when I smelled my sport coat and my pants the next day, I was like, oh, I have to keep these separate from my work clothes, from the rest of my clothes in my suitcase. No, it was kind of everything you would expect it to be. Guys were drinking beers, drinking tequila. There's kind of a haze in the locker room. Guys are hugging, taking pictures with each other, taking turns holding the Lombardi trophy. And, I think for me, I mentioned this on Twitter, the thing that I'm going to remember most about that scene, and I was in there for a good, 45 minutes or so, was Devon Witherspoon holding up a USA Today newspaper. It had Sam Darnold and Ken Walker on the cover under the headline Champions. And, he was proudly – this is a defensive player who could have been MVP of that game, whose defense dominated that game. And this guy was proudly holding up the newspaper, declaring his quarterback to be I have to give you the FCC-friendly version of this, but a mother-bleeping Super Bowl winner. And just, kind of the latest example of how much teammates love Sam Darnold. And he really was not the story of that game. He played okay, didn't turn the ball over, but he was, he was not, you could list 6 or 7 other, MVP players from that game. And Witherspoon was one of them. And yet here he was just wanting to celebrate his quarterback. It was pretty, I think that was pretty memorable to me.
It's kind of weird, B, because now going into the second season or next season, there are expectations now. Fans will expect these guys to compete for the division and possibly make a run at this thing. With all the changes that could happen, what are your expectations for the squad?
For next season, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're set up. Obviously they're going to have to replace their coordinator, and we can talk about kind of some options for that. But, look, a lot of times when teams win a Super Bowl, or sometimes, they got to replace both coordinators, and their coaching staffs, get poached, and their players get poached. So this is, the thing that every Super Bowl winner has to deal with. I think they are probably as set up for success as, any other Super Bowl winner in recent memory, just because it is a relatively young roster. They've obviously got some older guys up front, and they will need to inject some youth into that defensive line. They're certainly not going to be able to keep everybody. Like my best guess is that Tariq Woolen and probably even Boye Mafe are playing elsewhere next year, just because, Seahawks have a lot of guys to pay. And I think those guys have put enough really good football on tape to where some team is going to pay them the kind of money that the Seahawks just aren't going to want to go to. But this is still by, certain metrics. My guy, Bill Barnwell at ESPN, according to his snap weighted, roster kind of age calculations, they were the third youngest roster in the NFL. And they've got the quarterback in place. They've got, some really, really high-end young talent on that roster. And they've got, plenty of cap space. Now, I don't think they're going to go on a spending spree this offseason, because while they do have the cap space, they also got a lot of guys to resign. They've got some players who are up for big-time extensions that's probably going to cut into their cash budget quite a bit. But, they are positioned kind of pretty well, I would say, to try to run it back next season.
What set them up for being ahead of schedule? I think that because the Patriots had 4 wins the year prior, everyone was like, oh, my God, they're here so much sooner than expected. But had it been, a healthy Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, you'd be looking at the Seahawks saying they were ahead of schedule. So what do you think lent itself most to getting this team here earlier than expected?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, maybe we all just kind of underestimated the talent a little bit, and underestimated Sam Darnold, and underestimated how quickly a lot of those new pieces on offense can come together. That was really the big question I had is, they really transformed their offense just in terms of scheme and in terms of personnel. Like, half of this, I can't remember the exact number, but like basically half of the starting lineup last season was turned over. And so, maybe they were just better and able to do it on a quicker timeline than we all thought. But, I think we all knew that the defense was going to be really good. And so the surprising part was that, the offense came along as quickly as it did.
Yeah, it was in the run game, too. We're going to talk about this on Friday, but I'm sure we'll have more to talk about it once we get there. But it's just funny how the thing that we were worried about the most kind of set the tone throughout the playoffs, and that's the run game, right, and getting those guys going. Do the players talk about that? Do coaches talk about that? Just the evolution of the run game, or is it something that that we harp on?
No, I'm sure they do. I mean, this is an offense that wants to run the ball. With a defensive-minded head coach and a coordinator, an outgoing coordinator that, that's kind of in his DNA. And it came together, and it felt like it was only a matter of time, right? Because with Ryan Grubb last season, I never really had confidence that once we started to see the run game struggle, that they were going to figure it out, because it was not a coordinator who was committed to running the ball, was on an offense that was built around that, whereas this one was. And, it just felt like it was only a matter of time before they started to get things down. And I don't pretend to know exactly what wasn't working, from a very detailed, schematic and mechanics, standpoint and all that. But it just felt like they were going to figure it out. And it did. It was the timing was interesting. There was, I think it was after the Indianapolis game in week 15, I believe that was, when, they ran for 50 yards in that game, 2 something per carry. And someone asked McDonald about the run game. And he said, it's a lot of things that aren't going well right now with the run game. And he said, it's a little late in the year to be saying that, and you could tell he was frustrated. And then, 3 days later in that Thursday night Rams game, that's really when it started to take off. And it carried them throughout the playoffs, even without one half of that backfield duo in Zach Charbonnet.
You mentioned earlier, as part of a separate answer, that if we wanted to go over some options for offensive coordinator, we could ask you. So now I will. What are some potential options for Seattle, and what does your gut tell you they do?
My gut tells me that they promote from within. I feel somewhat strongly about that. They have to still go through the process, and maybe, as they are interviewing some outside candidates, maybe, someone comes in and blows them away. That's entirely possible. They will have to adhere to the Rooney Rule as well, which I think will require them to interview, I believe it's two outside, two minority candidates from another team. But I think when it's all said and done, that probably by the end of the week, it's going to be, somebody that is on this current staff. And the guy that I would handicap as having the best odds, just with how I read the situation, is Andrew Janocko, who was their quarterbacks coach, who followed Clint Kubiak to Seattle from New Orleans. I believe he was with him in Minnesota a few years before that. So those guys are really tight, and I'm sure that Clint Kubiak would love for Andrew Janocko to follow him again to Las Vegas, but I don't know if Mike McDonald is going to let that happen. If you're Janocko, if you're going to Vegas with Kubiak, well, Kubiak's probably going to call plays for the Raiders. So an opportunity to be a play-calling OC in Seattle, I imagine that would have more appeal to Kubiak. And then a couple other names that I would expect to at least get some looks are Jake Peetz, who's their offensive passing game coordinator. And here's a wild card for you that maybe a lot of people probably don't have on their minds, but Mac Brown, who is their tight ends coach. We're not talking Mac Brown, the old Texas and UNC coach. We're talking Seahawks tight ends coach Mac Brown. It would not surprise me if they gave him a look for this job.
Last one I got for you, B. I believe we're around the same age. And my question is, did you go to the after party and watch T-Pain's beautiful performance?
No. I was, first of all, I would never be invited to something like that. I did not go to a single party, believe it or not. I was working the whole time, and the little free time I did have, as you probably won't be surprised to hear about, I spent it on the golf course.
Yeah.
But so I didn't do that. Yeah, I'm sure they had a great time without me.
He is ESPN's Brady Henderson, kind enough to join us on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. Thanks, Brady.
Thanks, Big.
All right, thanks for having me. See you guys.
Let's get to 4 Down territory.
This is 4 Down territory, going inside the game. With former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
First down, what do you appreciate even more about the Seahawks defense?
It's silly to say, right, but the defensive line. I appreciate them even more, man. The way they manipulated this offensive line, the way that Mike McDonald had him starting on one side of the line, ending on the other side, creating space. I described it as, man, Witherspoon being able to blitz through the A and the B gap like you're surf launching, man. When the boats are coming off the waves and they're cutting through, you got to time it up perfectly, or your boat's going to get capsized and smack the waves.
I loved the analogy.
They were doing it perfectly.
It made sense.
It was beautiful. No, I appreciate the attention that teams have to give to Leo when it comes to double team, to Murphy as well. You can predict which way they're going to slide because you know they have to double team this guy. There was a time where Riley Mills was lined up in the A gap. You got to double that guy. And they said, nah, we're going to slide it all the way to the other side because we respect Jay Reed more than Mills. The Mills ends up getting the sack on the quarterback. Yeah, man, it was fun. I appreciate this defense, this D-line even more because of the chaos they brought to this game.
Second down. How would you describe the way K9 played on Sunday?
I saw a little bit of everything. I saw Le'Veon Bell. I saw him get the football, hesitate for a second, and then boom, go. I saw Derrick Henry. I saw him just get downhill. I saw Adrian Peterson. I saw him open up the gate a bit. I saw Alvin Kamara. In the pass game, he had a catch or two as well. I saw a little bit of everything from this guy, man. He saved to me, this was his best game, his complete game. I know he had a game where he rushed for more yards, I believe. I forget when it was, but I felt like this was his most complete game as a Seahawk this year, and he made himself some money, man. It was necessary seeing him do all this stuff. It was fun to see him do it, running with confidence, just sprinkling George Halani, biggest Halani, who had a play or two in that game as well.
Pivotal third down conversion.
Yeah, big third down conversion. But no, I saw a whole bunch of running backs wrapped into this little stress ball of number 9. It was fun.
Third down. What play by Sam Darnold showed the composure you wanted to see?
It's probably not a play that a lot of people are thinking about. It's not a throw down the field. It's not a check down. It was a scramble. It was a scramble in the third quarter. It started the third quarter, I believe. And he was getting pressure. He's getting pressure. He slides up in the pocket. He bounces outside. And instead of throwing the football down the field, he decides to run it. And he made a guy move, put that right foot in the ground, scoop, made a guy miss, and kept it going. That's the type of responsible play that I want to see. And he did make some good throws.
Yeah.
He did throw some checkdowns. He did get out of some plays. And I felt the game was won before that. But going into that second half, you need to put more points on the board. It just felt like he was in a good place because that decision right there to run, something that he doesn't do often, was great.
You know the most important thing Sam Darnold did too? Not turn the ball over. And I know that you answered that as part of it, playing clean football, that was part of the composure, avoiding sacks. But it feels like people spent the entire lead up to the playoffs going, well, God, Sam Darnold had so many turnovers in the regular season. You got to hope that he doesn't cost this team. He finished the postseason as the only quarterback not to throw an interception.
Yeah.
And I think that when he didn't throw an interception, did exactly what people wanted him to do. It was, well, he didn't throw a ton of touchdowns, though.
Right.
It's like, man, pick a lane and stay there. Stop shifting it like I do. Pick a lane and
Pick
stay
a lane
there.
and stay.
I really don't like changing lanes on the freeway. Fourth down. Anything stand out from our conversation with Brady Henderson?
No.
Not at all.
I was going back to Rob.
Oh, sorry.
So, I'm going Rob because he brought up something that is going to affect the way this team looks. There's a lot of movement that can happen with this team. Rashid Shaheed is an unrestricted free agent. $14 million is his market value. Josh Jones, a tackle that we saw play some good football this year. Boye Mafe, it's crazy. Boye is a free agent. I felt like he just got here. That's how fast time flies.
I know, right?
He's worth $8 million. Kenneth Walker, we knew this was coming. He's worth $9 million. Josh Jobe, he's worth $9 million. Kobe Bryant, probably the biggest come up this year of everybody. He's worth $14 million. You got Tariq Woolen, he's worth $8 million. Like, you're not going to be able to pay everybody. You do have the third or fourth most cap space on this team right now, but you're not going to be able to pay everybody. If you had to pick 2 that are non-negotiables out of that group, who are you locking up?
Walker. I heard Salk make a point this morning about how important the line of scrimmage is and that's why you'd want to go Mafe, but I think I'm comfortable, unfortunately, and I don't mean this offensively, moving on from Boye and maybe just trying to bring in, maybe you trade for a premier edge rusher. You can't afford it. You got so much
one
money
more
to
you
spend.
can keep. You keep one more.
And this includes, so this is just the free agents, not the guys needing extensions. Kobe.
Yeah. Those are my two.
I know that was a very roundabout way to get to it, but it's so hard. I've praised, like Salk, John Schneider so much for reinvesting in the line of scrimmage that it's so hard to go away from it and pick a running back and a defensive back for my answer here, but I think that's my answer.
Someone says, Bumpus, you did not see a little bit of Henry. You don't tell me what I saw. 509? I saw Henry. I saw, you know what? I saw Barry, too. I saw all of them. All of the above. I saw all of them, man. Don't tell me what I saw with my own eyes at the game.
Yeah. Someone said, that's all I heard from Stacy for 2 weeks. Will Darnold turn it over? Yeah. I wondered if he would. But you know what I'm doing right now? Giving him credit for not doing it. I don't know what you want. I'm doing exactly what I'm saying more people should be doing, which is giving him credit for not turning the ball over.
Yeah, we gave him
Instead
credit.
of moving the goalpost and going, I really, I'm waiting to see if Sam can really light it up.
Nah, we gave him love. Also, I'll give Myers some love, too. Someone says you got to give Myers love for the tackle if you didn't already. I did. I'll give it, hey, go look on X. I gave him love. I said Jason Myers is officially a football player, good tackle.
It blew my mind when I saw that. I had to click on it and make sure it was the real you.
It's real.
Wait, is this the real Michael Bumpus? I got to make sure he's following me. This is him, right? This is the Michael Bumpus. I just had to absolutely make sure.
Not the one from South Carolina.
No, not that one. Washington's biggest night out for sports is almost here. The 91st annual Sports Star of the Year Awards. The star-studded event brings together athletes and icons behind our favorite teams and unforgettable moments. Be part of history and cast your vote for the men's and women's sports stars of 2025, representing the best of Washington sports. You can also vote for Sports Story of the Year. Voting is open now through February 14th, so head to seattlesports.org and make your voice heard. Winners will be announced live at the 91st Annual Sports Star of the Year Awards presented by Microsoft on Friday, March 13th. Don't miss out. Vote now and be part of the celebration. Get your questions in for What I Need to Know. Send those to the text line 866-979-3776. Coming up next in Hype Train, is Ken Walker a Seahawk in 2026? That's on your home for the Super Bowl champion Seahawks, Seattle Sports, and the Seattle Sports app.
Seahawks head coach Mike Macdonald's first interview since winning the Super Bowl. Only on the Mike Macdonald Show with Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
Kimmel last night. Yeah, I was very surprised. Jimmy's like so gracious, treated my family great. Just everybody was just awesome. Even they got me that shirt. Like I didn't have a shirt. Costume people, they had like a rack of clothes and like nothing fit because I'm like weird with the shape. So they had to like bring me another shirt because like I would have looked like a fat guy in a little shirt.
Get the full conversation now on the Seattle Sports app.
I'm going to be honest with you guys. I would rather get my teeth drilled than go to a car dealership. But good news is that changed because of Wayscar Ford in Auburn. The first time I went out there, I was nervous. Just being at a car dealership brings pressure. I feel like I'm going to get ripped off or pressure to make a decision that day that I'm just not ready for. But instead, I felt immediately comfortable because there's absolutely no pressure at Wayscar Ford, period. And they back it up with a 5-day or 500-mile, 100% no questions asked, money back guarantee. Wayscar Ford is only going to sell you a car if you want to buy one. So if you want a low-pressure experience, Wayscar Ford in Auburn is where you need to go. By the way, they don't just have Fords, they have everything. Take it from me or check out their reviews. They have thousands of 5-star reviews. You can buy with confidence. Wayscar Ford has been family-owned and operated in downtown Auburn for 103 years. And trust me, you don't stay in business that long by not taking care of people. See it for yourself at Wayscar Ford in Auburn. That's wayscarford.com.
Michael is in his 70s, and he was dealing with an injury.
I had tears in my rotator cuff. Just the discomfort of going about everyday life. Day-to-day things were not comfortable or almost impossible, but just being inactive was troubling.
He was in a great deal of pain.
I started trying to learn how to brush my teeth with my left hand, and you can't do it. It was ridiculous.
Searching for answers, Michael found Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine, where he underwent stem cell therapy.
You know, I played basketball Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and so I'm getting my shot back. It's not back to where it was, but hey, before I couldn't even do anything. So 100% improvement of what it was.
Wow, that's great to hear. Would you recommend stem cell therapy to others?
I can share without a doubt that it helped me, and I'm grateful for that.
Whether it's a shoulder, hip, or knee, before you choose surgery, consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
It's the Super Smart Top Special at Olympic. Save on a new hot tub and get a free Smart Top cover worth $3,700. Super Smart Top Special savings will make you feel, well, super. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. You know, the big wireless companies say they have discounts for people over 55, but unless you're willing to sit on hold and ask, you're probably paying more than you should. At Consumer Cellular, there's nothing to hunt down. We're built for people 50 plus with plans starting at just $20. And our 100% US-based customer service actually answers the phone. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today and get your second month free for a limited time.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. Hey, Hoop fans, Bump here. Don't miss out. It's your last chance this season to catch Seattle U men's basketball take on big names at Climate Pledge. Come see the Red Hawks take on St. Mary's on February 18th. Grab your tickets at GoSeattleU.com/tickets. Red Hawks rising.
The Mariners fix you need during the offseason.
Fans are on their feet. Listen to this.
The Uncruise Adventures Hot Stove, Tuesday nights at 7 on Seattle Sports.
Seattle Sports Championship Parade coverage is provided by Harborstone Credit Union. It's a good day to be a football fan and a Harborstone Credit Union member. They've been voted the best credit union and best place to work. They're in the top 1% of credit unions for products and services in Washington State, and they've got a best-in-class mobile app. Harborstone Credit Union delivers real support to help people thrive. With over 30 branches from Olympia to Bellingham, find one near you. Go to harborstone.com.
Get your championship gear at Simply Seattle, your go-to shop for Seahawks gear with both licensed and custom designs you won't find anywhere else. Use code ESPN15 for 15% off your order at simplyseattle.com. Celebrate the title with jerseys, shirts, hoodies, hats, and collectibles. Want your gear in time for the parade? Shop in person at Simply Seattle on First Ave. And get ready for spring training with Mariners gear and Simply Originals like the Kid Logo hoodie. Code ESPN15 at simplyseattle.com.
I'm Chris Davis, former King County prosecutor and founder of the Davis Law Group in Seattle. If you've been injured in a crash caused by impaired or drunk drivers, there are special considerations that need to be taken to protect your legal rights. Davis Law Group's team of investigators and lawyers know how to properly investigate DUI crashes and identify all parties who might be legally responsible for your injuries and damages. Call Davis Law Group at 206-888-8888 or get my free book at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
P&D Tree Service, experts in local tree removal. Their team works fast to remove problem trees in your yard and neighborhood. Have you ever seen a tree removed by a crane? P&D Tree Services specializes in close-quarter tree removal to minimize impact on your landscaping. 24-hour emergency service. Any job, big or small. Safe, efficient, and fast. P&D Tree Service turns multi-day jobs into a few hours, saving you time and money. Enjoy a clean, safe, and bright yard. PNDTreeService.com.
This hour is brought to you by Mazda of Everett.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Coming up in 15 minutes, it's what I need to know. So get your questions in. Things top of mind, what you need to know. 866-979-3776. Text them now. Let's head to the station for Hype Train. First one in. Super Bowl MVP, and one of the names we'll talk about most as we approach free agency because he's set to be one. Ken Walker is a Seahawk in 2026. Bump.
You know what? I just asked Brady Henderson that same thing, and he believes that's Rob Staton. Is that right? Staton. All year, and I still can't get it right.
But I believe it.
Staton. And he said he doesn't think K9 is going to be a Seahawk. So we got two guys we talk to all the time who have two different views on him. I think that he is, though. So I'm on this hype train, man. I think that he is because I feel like he just plays so much value on himself and what he can do in this offense that you want to keep the good times rolling. He probably has, 3 more elite years in him, 4 more elite years in him. If you're lucky, because now running backs can get banged up and stuff. But he's that important to this team. He's on it.
Ken Walker is a Seahawk in 2026. Bump is boarding. Curtis, or you?
I think if you had asked me this question prior to Zach Charbonnet's injury, I would have said likely not. But because of Charbonnet probably going to miss time into the regular season next year, they're going to need a proven commodity at that spot. I think they franchise tag Ken Walker. I think he's back with Seattle in 2026. So I'm boarding this train. I think they run it back with him for at least one more year.
I'm boarding this one as well. All aboard this train. You don't spend an entire offseason, John Schneider and Mike McDonald, talking about how you want to establish the run and get back to the run and then turn away from a running back who figures out how to do it. Absolutely no way. He's a Seahawk this upcoming season. Next up, Devon Witherspoon was your defensive MVP.
He was on the show, the postgame show. That's why I gave it to. I gave it to Devon Witherspoon. So, yeah, that's my pick, man. It could have been him. It could have been Murphy with 2 picks and a fumble recovery. It could have been D. Hall with two sacks. Did I say Murphy with 2 picks? Murphy with 2 sacks. D. Hall with 2 sacks. McKenna had a pick 6. This defense was everywhere, man. J. Love had a pick. Man, everyone contributes to this party, man. But, yeah, I'm going with Spoon. He just plays with a tempo and a speed that we just don't see for someone who's asked to do things that he does, right? Blitz the quarterback, cover the slot. He was everywhere, man. I got to give it to 21.
Devon Witherspoon was your defensive MVP. Bump is boarding. Curtis, or you?
It's funny how Witherspoon often will get criticized for having, like, the traditional stats were empty in most of his games, but, like, he put up tons of stats.
The king
in the
of
Super
not
Bowl.
on the stat sheet.
Right. His impact is usually felt elsewhere, but definitely felt on the stat sheet of Super Bowl 60. I will board this train. He was wreaking havoc all over the field on Sunday. I think early on, Derek Hall may have had the biggest impact of any Seahawks defensive player, but I think throughout the course of the game, Witherspoon was there. He was in Drake May's face the whole night. It was an impressive effort, an unrelenting effort from Devon Witherspoon. So that's why I'm boarding that train.
I am boarding this train as well. And because it's for so many of the same reasons, I'll go ahead and transition to the next train into the station because it's for good reason, Matt, I promise. Derek Hall would be another candidate for this. But this one is not for the MVP. It's for the most important play of the game. So think now, most important play of the game, and this is your hype train. Derek Hall's forced fumble was the most important play of the game. I mean, think about it. It led to Seattle's only touchdown of the game. And for a lot of people, put the game away. Derek Hall's forced fumble was the most important play of Super Bowl 60. Bump.
You remember when we interviewed Mike Morris and asked him for his favorite song?
Yeah, and
This
he
how
got
this
mad at you.
feels right now.
He said you want to fight.
This is how this feels right now. Most important play of the
Most
game.
important play of the game.
Yeah, I heard you.
Most important play. I don't know if you were like me.
Go to
Sometimes
Curtis.
I do struggle.
Go to Curtis. Go to Curtis.
Derek Hall's forced fumble was the most important play of the game. If you don't answer, I'm going to Matt. So
I'm not going to board this train. And I've got an interesting one. So the Patriots were trailing 19-7 midway through the fourth quarter, but they were driving. They had put together 6 plays, had gone 40 yards in just over 2 minutes, and it looked like they could have trimmed it to a 1-score game. But then Julian Love and Drake May, what a perfect combination. They looked like they had practiced that route a few times. Drake May puts it right in the breadbasket of Julian Love, and then the Seahawks get the field goal after that, make it 22-7. They then add on to that, make it 29-7. So that Julian Love interception, I think, was the play that just kind of really put things out of reach for the Patriots.
bam, Curtis sending it right back. Bump.
Right back at
Most important play of Super Bowl 60. Are you boarding the train that it was the forced fumble?
Sure.
It's a good case to make.
Sure. I just feel like there's so many other small ones that felt bigger to me because sometimes it's not always the obvious. You know what I mean? That is obvious. It makes sense.
Yeah.
Score and all that good stuff.
Only
but I
touchdown.
feel like I'm missing something though. But too late for that.
425 said Barner's touchdown was a game changer. Yes, but here's the thing. Do they get that touchdown? Seattle had been not great in the red zone, not great on third down. They weren't moving down the field. I mean, they were running the ball. They could kind of move between the 20s, but they weren't finishing off those drives. That forced fumble by Derek Hall, obviously recovered by Seattle's defense, put them in scoring position almost right away. And not long after, you get your score.
I mean, you clearly think it's the most important play of the game.
I think it might be. I think that was the momentum shifter. And the only other momentum shift was, as Curtis said, the Julian Love interception, because that came following a pretty big play by 2 big plays by May, to where you could kind of feel in the building that it was like, oh, are the Patriots going to have some magic happen here? So I think that that's like the other argument for it. But I think you could make a very good case that it was that forced fumble. Because at that point, I was thinking, if Seattle gets a touchdown, I texted you guys. There's evidence. I said, if Seattle gets a touchdown, is this thing done? And they did.
We're missing something, but you know what? We don't have that much time, so I'm just going to roll with it.
All right. Next up, next train into the station. Andrew Janocko is the Seahawks OC.
Yeah, I think so. I'm on. Actually, I'm off that train. I'm sorry. I changed my mind.
Train.
Stop the train.
I don't think trains
Stop
can
the
reverse.
Train.
You can't jump off a train.
You
gotta wait
jump
till the
off
next
a train.
stop.
It started slow, though. I can
No.
jump off.
No.
It starts. I'm in
No.
India. Have you
No,
seen
that's-
India?
That's very dangerous.
You see the Indian people
Very
jump on
dangerous.
trains?
Where do we
Train
live?
crashes.
Where do we live?
The United States
I'm
of
not in
America,
India.
Curtis.
I'm on
I know that's
vacation in
right.
India. I'm on vacation in India.
Okay, so you jumped off the train.
He's going to Vegas. He's going to Vegas.
Okay.
I think he's with Kubiak.
Okay. I'm not going to ask you unless you want to say who your OC pick is, but it's not going to be Andrew Janocko.
No, I don't know who it is,
Okay.
but it ain't Janocko.
Andrew Janocko is the Seahawks' next OC. Boarded the train, then he jumped off. Then he ran back to the station. Probably very banged up. You had to hit the ground pretty hard. There's rocks. It's not like the train goes over grass or anything.
I'm in India.
There's no way you didn't break an arm.
Nah, I'm good. You see Indian people, they be hanging off the side of that thing.
Curtis.
Dangerous.
Andrew Janocko is the next Seahawks OC. Are you boarding this train responsibly?
It does seem like McDonald wants to hire from within, because I think he said it on NFL Network last night. Like, we're going to move quickly with this. We've got we've got some great in-house candidates. So I think it does come from within. But Kubiak is probably going to want to take a few guys with him. And Janocko, what do you want to do? Do you want to join your buddy Clint Kubiak in Vegas, or maybe take over the OC job for the defending Super Bowl champions? I am going to board this train. I think Janocko looks at his options and says, you know what? Why ruin a good thing? I'm going to stick around here and go for ring number 2.
Yeah, I mean, if it's the choice between being the same job, an OC with a Super Bowl contender or an OC with the Raiders, I'm going Seattle. I might be, I think it depends on how tight he is with Clint Kubiak. If they're boys, if that's like, dude, that's my guy, that's the missing piece of information that I need here. Because if it were me, I'm an OC with a team that just won a Super Bowl. Especially when I get full control over everything, because my coach is a defensive guy. But maybe he's like best friends with Clint Kubiak.
Don't know. Maybe he likes to gamble.
No, I'm not boarding this one. But am I wrong for that? I don't know. Who knows? Last one.
We'll find out.
This one inspired by a viral tweet that Curtis found from some Broncos fans who are convinced that if Denver went to the Super Bowl, they would have beaten Seattle. That's your final hype train. If Denver went to the Super Bowl, they would have beaten the Seahawks. Bump, are you boarding this hype train?
And Dave Wyman won't even board this one. He played for Denver. Brock Salks lives in Denver. Ashley Adamson, my friend, she lives in Denver. Jimmy Lane is from Denver, one of my friends. Nobody boarding this nonsense, man. What are you talking about? Best defense in the game.
Curtis, are you boarding the train that from Broncos fans, Denver would have beaten the Seahawks if they made it to the Super Bowl?
That's just cope from losing the Russell Wilson trade all those years ago. They don't want to admit that that's what was a key factor in the Seahawks winning the Super Bowl now. That is a wild take. Jarrett Stidham couldn't even beat this Patriots team. They're not beating the Seahawks. Sorry.
No. Also, it's just like everyone can play the what if game, and it's always the lamest game you could possibly play.
Everybody's undefeated in hypothetical championships.
Yeah, exactly. It's just, well, if we wouldn't have gotten hurt, okay? And you can say that every single year. Every single year there are teams that lose key players throughout the season, and they don't get to say, well, we would have won if. Sorry, buddy.
If only if.
There are so many Seahawks teams that lost players for a couple weeks that ended up losing them games. There are Seahawks teams that could have been much better contenders had they not been hurt. You just can't do it. You can't play that game. Get your questions in for What I Need to Know, 866-979-3776. That's next on your home for the Super Bowl champion Seahawks, Seattle Sports, and the Seattle Sports app.
It's why we bake in the sun, out on the berm every summer at training camp. It's why we scream till it hurts. Come fall and winter.
Listen to the 12th man.
It's why we're 12s.
And the party begins. The Seahawks win Super Bowl 60.
Soak it in.
They lived up to the dark side today. It's going to go down in the history books.
We are the home of your Super Bowl champion Seahawks. Seattle Sports.
Your old furnace ain't nice, and your toes are like ice. DayandNight.net. Save $1,700 when you have Day and Night match your current furnace with a qualifying AC or heat pump.
Your furnace is lonely all by itself, but it doesn't have to be. With our Matchmaker Special, we'll match your furnace with a perfect air conditioner or heat pump to keep your furnace company and your home comfy all year round.
Match your furnace to a qualifying cooling system and save $1,700. DayandNight.net.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for honest pricing, expert service, and guaranteed repairs. This dedication has earned them a Carfax Preferred designation. At Bucky's, every customer gets detailed Carfax updates, timely service reminders, and a full service history, all at your fingertips. With 16 family-owned locations, no appointment needed, and easy financing, Bucky's makes auto care simple. Visit Bucky's.com today and drive with confidence. Bucky's.com.
Hi, Flo here from Progressive. You know, life changes quickly, so it's good to have flexible coverage.
Oh, you mean like adding another vehicle?
Yes, that's something we can do.
Great, because I was thinking about getting a van so we could just keep the kids' softball stuff in the car.
Oh, we don't need to get into specifics. Just saying it's easy to change.
Oh, and Hannah wants to try the tuba.
Again, we don't need the specifics.
Last year, she wanted to be a tap dancer, but that only lasted 2 lessons.
Okay.
But she kept the shoes because they are adorable.
Well, just know that with Progressive, you can easily add another car to your auto insurance because we know life changes.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Taxes was waiting on the refund you needed yesterday.
All right, your car repair is going to run about $3,000.
Ugh.
Now Taxes is getting back on the road with TurboTax and Credit Karma, where you can get your refund up to 5 days faster and get personalized guidance to take every dollar further. Now this is Taxes. Intuit Credit Karma with TurboTax. Deposit a federal refund into Credit Karma Money account and early submission of refund data by IRS required. Terms apply. Banking services provided by MVB Bank, Inc. Member FDIC. Credit Karma is not a bank.
When the new year hits, every business could use a little something to stay ahead. A lift, a jump start, an edge, or perhaps a boost. Like the all-new 5-year business boost from Comcast Business. It's the certainty of a price lock for 5 years on qualifying internet bundles. Plus, you'll have the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment, so your whole team can stay connected at a great rate. And to sweeten the deal, ask about a $500 prepaid card when you add 2 lines of mobile. It's the boost your business deserves. So sign up for the 5-year business boost and get a 5-year price lock on ultra-reliable Wi-Fi. Plus, ask about a $500 prepaid card. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 3/22/26. New customers only. 1-year contract required for guaranteed rate. 5-year pricing applies to monthly service charge excluding taxes and fees. Best Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
Our friends at Mazda of Everett always offer you their best deals. Mazda of Everett is the West Coast's largest Mazda dealer for a reason. They sell more new Mazdas than any other dealer on the West Coast. So come check out the Mazda More to Move You sales event now. Shop over 300 new Mazda CX-5s with 0.9 financing for 60 months available on approved credit. Located on Highway 99 in Everett or shop MazdaofEverett.com. Based on Mazda USA's retail sales reports 2025.
The celebration continues.
We never wavered, man. We believed in each other. We loved each other.
On the home of your Super Bowl champion Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Hey, it's February, and we're a month into those fitness goals and resolutions. And are you already tired of the crowded gyms and sweaty machines? Maybe you're ready to upgrade your fitness equipment in your own home. Well, I got the place and some deals for you. Hey, Brock Ewart here with my friends at Top Fitness. Right now, trade in your old treadmill and get a $500 credit to use for Precor, True, or Inspire treadmills. Top Fitness sells the best quality products available. Brands like Precor, True, Octane, Inspire Stairmaster, and much more. It's trade-in days at Top Fitness, and it's not too late to get in the best shape of your life. Top Fitness has the largest selection of home fitness equipment in the state of Washington. and their staff will truly show you why. It's no secret that everybody, from personal trainers to pro athletes, love their stores. Top Fitness has locations at Tukwila, Linwood, and Bellevue, or visit topfitness.com for more info. And remember, trade in your old treadmill and get a $500 credit today. Top Fitness, your best place for home fitness equipment.
The Seattle Seahawks are Super Bowl 60 champions. And now Wilson, the official football of the NFL, has released the limited edition Super Bowl 60 Champions Duke Game Ball, exclusively available at BigTimeBats.com. This authentic 4-panel leather football features the Seahawks logo, bold Super Bowl champions lettering, the final score and date of the game, and the official Super Bowl 60 logo. Officially licensed, limited edition. Visit BigTimeBats.com and get the Seahawks Super Bowl 60 champions Duke Game Ball before they sell out.
Hi, Chuck here at Frank Lumber The Door Store. As we turn the corner on a new year and start planning for home projects and better weather, now is the time to come in and see all we have to offer. Our bargain barn is loaded with great deals with many exterior and interior options. And if you need your order quicker, now is the time of year to take advantage of our pre-hung and popular matchup service. Come visit our showroom and bargain barn in Shoreline. And don't forget to check us out online at franklumber.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Get your questions in for What I Need to Know, 866-979-3776. What I need to know, who do you guys want to see on the NFL schedule, the Seattle Seahawks play for in the NFL season opening game?
The Rams.
Week 1, Thursday Night Football.
Yep. Run it back.
That feels like dessert before dinner, kind of. You know what I mean?
They usually have the best two teams go at it that first week. Best two teams go at it.
That feels like a lot.
You're scared. That's why you scared.
I know. Can we get some practice in
Don't
first?
be scared.
Okay. If it's not the Rams,
There's some good ones.
yeah, who are the home opponents?
So there could be a Super Bowl rematch. The Patriots come to town next year.
Meh.
Rams, 49ers. How about Patrick Mahomes' return from injury?
If he plays.
Chiefs. Cowboys, they're always a big draw. Underrated one, here's a dark horse one. Chicago Bears.
I'd be down for that.
They're an up-and-coming team. And it's Chicago. They're a big draw.
I think that could be fun.
Man, throw them hands. Rams, square up.
Rams, do you think the NFL will want that? No, but listen, what if they want to save it?
The hot rumor is that the Rams-Niners game...
I'm a saver. Can you tell that I'm like, let me get extra candy and put it...
The hot rumor is that the Rams-49ers game in Melbourne might actually be the NFL kickoff game this year.
You mean Melbourne?
Yes.
I can see that.
Because of the rest needed from that 18-hour flight afterward.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a good one, though, the Bears. 866-979-3776. Someone said, did we play the Raiders? Yes, but that's not a home. Is that not a home game?
That's a road game.
Road game.
So.
But yeah, you have the AFC East.
NFC East.
Or AFC West.
And AFC West, yeah.
Bump, can you explain the techs to me? What's a 3-tech, 1-tech, etc.?
One tech is the space between the center and the guard. 3 tech is the space between the guard and the tackle. 5 is outside, so all the odd numbers are in between. All the even numbers are lined up right over position. So a 0 will be the center, and the 2 will be the guard.
What I need to know is actually what I need to share with you. I watched the Super Bowl with my aunt and uncle only. I've watched every Seahawks Super Bowl with them. Found out I'm not the only one who listens to you in the family. My aunt loves you guys. She said she loves Stacy, that Stacy loves reality TV. Thank you so much. Shout out Aunt Penny. AP all day.
Big up Aunt Penny.
Shout out. What I need to know. If I run into my boss in the sauna in the middle of the workday, should I be looking for a new gym or a new job?
Probably both.
I mean, are you on lunch break? Did you put in requests? Nah, I just walk in and just say, my bad, and just sit down.
What I need to know, will, and I'll throw in, or should, the Seahawks make a blockbuster move for Crosby or Garrett this offseason?
No.
You don't think they should?
No. If they can bring that band back together, go spend your money elsewhere. Maybe another offensive lineman. Maybe a DB, because I think Reek's going to be out of here. No, I think we good.
What I need to know, was there a moment or even a sequence of events that told you the Seahawks team had the glow? For me, it was the win over Washington.
Really? That's a good. I mean, I haven't heard anyone really use
I haven't heard anyone say that one.
as a measuring stick. Yeah, the Rams, Thursday Night Football. Let's go.
Yeah, probably Thursday Night Football. That's when it was obvious it was the two best teams. So then when you beat them, it felt like, well, now the conversation has to be that you're the best and you're the team to beat. What I need to know, is there anyone more fearless and fierce a competitor in sports than Lindsey Vonn? It's a crying shame she'll miss the Olympics, and this injury will most likely end her career, but she has been a joy to watch.
Tiger Woods, that's why they dated.
Yeah,
Both
crazy,
just
crazy
competitors.
people.
Imagine them in the weight room together, just throwing weight around.
Rest in peace, but Kobe Bryant.
Kobe, yeah.
Absolutely one of those. Just like crazy competitive people.
Yeah.
Earlier this week, Ryan Clark talked about NFC quarterbacks over Sam Darnold. What I need to know, what about AFC quarterbacks?
What about him? Over Sam Darnold?
Mm-hmm.
Let me take a yonder.
I mean, quite a few more. It's better
There's
quarterbacks.
Josh, Coach Lamar, you got Joe, you got Mahomes, you got Herbert. I think those are the five that would give some pause.
I'll reframe their question because now I want to know your answer.
Mm-hmm.
If you were ranking the quarterbacks where you're like, oh, I'd coach this guy. This guy's amazing. I'd want this guy on my team. How many until you get to an NFC quarterback?
Josh, Lamar, Pat, Joe. I think that four or five.
Then who's the first NFC quarterback that comes in?
Stafford.
Okay. Where would you fit Williams right now? And Jaden Daniels? If he can stay healthy.
I think Williams is like a 10 spot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those guys where it's like all the arm talent in the world, but you're still kind of waiting to see. I mean, he was like sub 60% completion this year. That's a factor. That's a real deal.
Yeah. Watch him throw that football.
I know, but I'm just saying that's not a great completion percentage.
Nah.
What I need to know, someone said, would you want to bring in Trey Hendrickson in free agency? They said, we have the money.
Yeah, you still got to pay JSN. He's going to be the top, highest paid receiver in the game. Hendrickson, he got franchised, I believe. Did he get franchised this year? Depends on how much he's going to want. Because you got to pay K9 still if you want to keep him. Yeah, it's I don't know, man. I don't look at the D line and feel like you're in desperate need of a Trey Henderson.
What I need to know, if Seattle Sports had a vehicle in the parade tomorrow, what kind of vehicle would you want to roll in? I think PT Cruiser limo, stretch limo.
With a hot tub in the back.
Yeah. A yellow Nissan Xterra. I always wanted that car when I was younger.
Really?
What about you? Well, what car would you want in the parade?
Oh, it's got to be something with a drop top so everybody can see, you know? Oh, old caddy. You got old caddy.
Yeah.
Drop top that thing.
What if it was Lil Red? Little Chevy Cruze.
A little Chevy Cruze.
There's a little Chevy Cruze out there. All right, Wyman and Bob coming your way next on your home for the Super Bowl champion Seahawks, Seattle Sports, and the Seattle Sports app.
Soak it in, Seattle.
3, 2, 1. The Seahawks win Super Bowl 60. They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest.
Congratulations to your Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks.
We got the best team. 12 is 1. We never wavered, man. We believed in each other. We loved each other. And now we're world champions.
And this is where the champs play. The home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
It's home show season. To celebrate, Lake Washington Windows and Doors is giving you 20% off and a lifetime installation warranty, plus 12 months to pay with 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest financing. See us at the home shows or visit lakewashingtonwindows.com.
Does your yard need shade, privacy, or a little brightening up? Look no further than Big Trees. I'm Nancy Penrose, owner of Big Trees in Snohomish. At our 30-acre location, there are thousands of trees to choose from and knowledgeable staff, including a board-certified master arborist, to help you find exactly what you're looking for. Visit the nursery and learn more about Big Trees at bigtreesupply.com.
Beauty, privacy, instantly. Big Trees.
The stock market was on fire in 2025 due to AI and tech stocks. Now is the time to set a strategy for 2026. It's a good opportunity to lock in those gains and invest into a stable platform. With $8 trillion in cash sitting on the sidelines, investors are either scared or unsure where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rirucka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
Start having fun. Caesar Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit muckleshootcasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin. Muckleshoot. For those diagnosed with anxiety, depression, or PTSD, Northwest Ketamine Clinics wants you to know hope exists. A recent patient, Evan, details his experience.
Every day was a struggle. I was constantly throughout my life researching what are new ways, are there any breakthroughs for depression, anxiety, these things. And at some point I started to read a few things about ketamine. I probably read every single thing on the website multiple times.
Northwest Ketamine Clinics defines success as a reduction in symptoms by 50% or more. Over a 3-week period, 86% of their patients are successful.
When I arrived at the clinic, it was just a beautiful, peaceful, quiet place. As I saw that healing and growth could take place, and as I put the energy into it, I just saw so many things change in my life.
Welcome to the Pacific Northwest's most experienced ketamine center. Book a free phone or video consult at nwketamineclinics.com. Healing starts here.
Our first Mark Challenge victory is Aaron McCoy from McCoy Home Solutions, yet another small business owner that took the First Mark Insurance Challenge. Aaron, why did you make the call to First Mark Insurance?
My company has grown to a space where we need a higher level of coverage. A couple of factors led me to say, boy, I really need to find something new, and First Mark really rang that bell.
First Mark save you and your business money?
Oh, yeah. They have decreased overall expense in a couple categories by up to 30%, coverage in a couple of areas by greater than 50%. They've offered coverage in 2 new categories that I think are pertinent for my business, and they've greatly impacted what that coverage and those margins look like.
Kind of wish you made the call earlier.
I absolutely do. Yeah.
So if you're a small business owner that wants to take the stress of insurance off your plate, do what Aaron McCoy did for McCoy Home Solutions. Make the call to First Mark Insurance. They're your teammate that goes to work for you. FirstMarkInsurance.com.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
When you buy a new vehicle from Lee Johnson, you'll get a lifetime powertrain warranty included.
Ooh, that face. Quantum Fiber Internet loves that face.
That's Jamila.
Hey, Jamila.
She's thinking outside the box from inside the box.
Quantum Fiber Wi-Fi keeps her meeting game strong. From the back door to the front lawn.
Rushing all of her video calls. Back to back to back video calls.
Quantum Fiber Internet blowing the soxies up all those people in all those boxes. Yay to you.
Switch today at quantumfiber.com.